Welcome in. It's To The Echo Radio Show right here on KineticHiFi.com. I am Nico Kelly. Along with me here, as always, Derek Daisy. Hey, Derek, how's it going? Yes, Derek, the one, the only, the Daisy to end all daisies.
Yes. Beware. It's me.
You think maybe there are 9 different daisies, and you're like the one to rule them all?
Yes. I think of that often and think that, they have something to fear because I will wipe them all out.
It's daisy genocide.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to kill all of you.
Well, like we said, welcome back. It's been a great week. It's Saturday night right here on Kinetic. It's 8 to 11 To The Echo. You're right in the dead center of the Weekend Warriors package. It starts on Fridays 5 to 6 with Key Explosion and Drew Howard. And you heard it this morning, the Weekend Sit and Spin, myself and Drew Howard, 12 to 2 on the Weekend Sit and Spin, To The Echo right here. And we finish it up tomorrow night from the bleachers, 8 to 10. Derek, how was your week?
It was fine. Yeah, I worked.
You look so surprised that I would ask such a thing.
I know. My acupuncturist asked me the same thing, and I was like, how was your week? He was like, yeah, I did some of this, did some of that. I'm like, wow, how specific. Very, I feel like I was really there.
Might as well have been.
Yeah. No, there wasn't much going on. I mean, yeah, it really was truly work and, some music stuff. Still, our single came out on iTunes on Monday, River of Life for Suburban Myth. So check it out. iTunes, Amazon. You could buy it 99 cents. There's no excuse. You could get 4 copies for the cost of. Wait a minute. No, you can get 1/4 of a coffee. 1/4 of a coffee for what you could get, like from Starbucks. Obviously, high quality coffee. Or you could get 1 McDonald's coffee. Exactly 1. So, pick it up. There's no excuse. And the music will last forever. Remember, coffee goes through your body. You piss it out a few hours later. You never see it again. With River of Life, it's a little different. You ingest it. You let it dwell a little bit. You get some diarrhea, and you let it go. But you still have the song, so that's it for you.
Yeah, there's no flushing involved.
No, never. Never at all.
Hey, did you also notice that we've climbed to within the top 10 now? We're sitting at number 9 on Reverb Nation. Are
we at 9 now? I know we were at like 8 yesterday, and it went up to 10, so we need you people to really talk about it, shower with it. Promote it, pay for it, do whatever you got to do. Just make it more famous, please. Please. We want careers here. Okay?
Yeah. I think there was 110 plays or something. Which, again, I have to say, considering that it's only in the Nottingham area as far as, it's not. I mean, it's everywhere, but we're promoting it there. I think it's pretty good that we've gotten over 100 listens and sitting in top 10. Now, have you heard the people that are above us?
No.
In the top 10?
I have not.
I went through and listened to all those guys last night.
Yeah?
And I have to say, there are only 2 of them that I thought were better than us, and they were number 6 and 7.
Okay, good. So that means the really crappy ones are good at promotion. So we got to get better than them. Now, how are they better than us? I'm curious.
No. Hold on. Let me rephrase that.
Oh.
I don't think any of them are better than us. I think I misspoke there. I did say better than. What I meant was there was only a couple in front of us who I thought deserved to at least be in the top 10.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
In competition with us, is what I should say.
Well, remember, it only took us 2 weeks to go from like 10,000 to 10th. So,
I know.
And it doesn't take a lot. You just got to put in a little bit of time.
I'd have to say I was a little disheartened maybe last night with the ranking system when I heard those other bands, because I was thinking those 5 or 6 other bands in that top 10 are terrible. I mean, they're awful. And it's not just bad songwriting. I mean, it's like bad recording too.
Yeah.
It sounds bad.
Oh, that's the whole thing. I mean, you got to be careful with how you record. You know, you can't just put things out. And people are always in a rush to get their stuff out. But man, put some time into it. Get a little bit of quality before you go showing that. Now, I've been guilty of that before. I remember when we were recording All Behind Me, and I've released 4 songs or 3 songs on MySpace from the album, and then I just left this demo up that a lot of people loved song-wise. Recording-wise, it was pretty bad. but it skews the whole image there, because, I mean, it's like people think you're garbage almost immediately. So you got to be careful there, you know, do what you got to do, make it sound nice. And it doesn't take a lot to make it sound nice anymore. You know, there's some really quick programs out there. Write this down, kids. You can get, like, if you're a musician, like a rocker, you know, Waves has this really great program called Chris Lord Ogg. Yeah, like it's like a mixer. It's like preset mixing where you don't really have a lot of control over everything. It gives you a little bit of movement, but it'll clean up your mix almost instantly, and it'll make you sound semi-professional. How do I know? Listen to River of Life. Okay, so
what was that called again?
It's Chris Lord Ogg. It's a Waves program, but it's like 5 little programs, like one made for guitar, one for bass, one for drums and all the different drums, one for effects like synthesizers, and one for what else?
Something.
Yeah. Oh, unplugged, like piano, acoustic guitar. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it instantly enhances it. It's like, hey, if you're a person that doesn't know how to mix, that's a great way to kind of get a running start. You know, but also it starts with recording correctly. You know, make sure, you know, when you put the guitar in front of your, or the microphone in front of your guitar, you're not putting it in front of the sound hole and stuff like that. You know, be smart. YouTube, man, there's a lot of great things to make your recording sound better, and then maybe you could be in the top 10 with us on Reverb Nation.
Yeah, you know, it is pretty neat to go on YouTube and see all those how-to videos. Have you ever done one of those?
Yeah.
For anything on computer-related?
Yeah, I do it all the time. Actually, we were making a movie in college, and there was a lot of videos that I looked at. A lot of special effect videos that I ended up never doing. But we were about to make this music video with this band called 2319. They were a punk band that we worked with in college. They were high schoolers, and like we did a couple music videos with them. Like I purchased all this stuff, like a big green screen, a nice camera, you know, Canon camera, got a crane, just did all this stuff. And I was like, all right, we're going to shoot this video. So we shot it. It turned out pretty cool. But the second video, I was upping the ante. I was like, no. We need sports cars. We need women. We need special effects. We need the slow bullet like the Matrix. We need explosions. We need death. And I had it all written out, figured out. I done video tutorials, learned how to do all these special effects shots. And the way it was pretty much going to go was the whole video, it had nothing to do with the song. It was just a punk video. And it started off with...
It's so true.
It is. And of course, Nick was heavily involved with this, too. He would have been shooting it with me. But it pretty much starts off with the band like doing a drug deal at the front of a gas station. It looks like a drug deal. Here, you'll get to the end and you'll know. All right, so at a gas station, this guy pulls up with a car. They're like exchanging like paper bags, and all of a sudden a guy drives by and starts shooting and guns down the drummer, and the other guys jump into a car and start racing, and they're just doing this firefight as they're driving on the streets, and then eventually they get to this area where it's like in this field, and they're like hiding behind a tree, and there's this, you know, like one of the guitar player gets shot, And he's just
I
lying.
forgot about that.
Yeah, and he's lying there in the bass player's hands. And because the bass player starts singing in this part of the song, he's like, we're on a different page. We'll never feel the same. And he's kind of singing to his dead friend or his dying friend. And then he gets up and he shoots one shot into a gas tank in this car, which causes it to explode. And everybody involved dies except him. And then he opens up the paper bag and it's like Reese cups. Because it was a punk band. I mean, the whole thing, it's like, I don't want it to be drugs and all that. We were just like, they were kids too, so we didn't want to be like cocaine.
But the mother did not let us do the video with them like that, though, right? Because of that.
Ultimately, we didn't do the video at all. Yeah,
we did lunchtime.
It was. No. Lunchtime was different. Lunchtime was just a performance video. That is what it was. The second one was what it was, punk band. This one was a different song. That, remember, we spent about a month prepping, and then the day we were supposed to shoot it, they were like, "Yeah, that might be a little too aggressive, and with guns and stuff." I'm like, yeah, but come on, they're going to be 18 next week, and really they were. So yeah, they were against it. But I'm telling you, man, the effects, like when he shoots the gun into the car to make it explode, it was gonna be like one of the Matrix in slow motion. He fires the bullet and flies by the camera and then goes straight to the tank. I had all this shot figured out. I knew exactly how to do it, how to make it look great. I spent weeks prepping to do this thing. And the day of, when I'm all excited, it was canceled. And I was like, all right.
You actually, when we were doing the filming thing, because you bought the green screen and you bought a big swing, in this camera. And it was awesome. We were trying to do some movies and stuff with it. But you did a couple of effects, and I'm wondering how. One was the bullet. How are you going to do that? And also, you remember when you zoomed out and it was the whole Earth?
Oh, yeah.
And we were screaming, and it was...
Yeah. It might be...
How do you do that?
I'll have to find a way to get that on YouTube. It's on Facebook somewhere. But, yeah, so, all right, so we'll start with that shot. All right, because in the midst of this, that was another video I learned on YouTube. I was like, Nick, I want to try this cool logo beginning for our Dio Studios thing. So I was like, all right, go outside.
Daisy O'Kelly.
Daisy O'Kelly. So I was like, go outside. Just stand up and look like you're yelling. You don't even have to yell. Just look up at the camera, at the sky, and just, look. And we recorded him doing that. I think it took 5 seconds. And then I went.
Yeah, I did.
Then I spent 8 hours compositing this video. I got pictures of New York City from Google Maps, and I pretty much zoomed in to the top of like a stadium, zoomed out a little further. Took that picture, zoomed out a little further, got a picture of the Earth and zoomed out even more. And what you do is in After Effects, you tie them all together. Just when you zoom out of this picture gets bigger. And then it zooms out. So it's a motion thing. It all looks seamless. You have no idea it's happening. But instead of me going from Earth to space, it's just 5 pictures, going really big and zooming out. And then I put Nick's video on top of that, what's it called? The stadium. And then I found some guys screaming, "No!" online, and I put it on top of Nick. And it was really epic and cool.
Yeah, it looked really cool.
Yeah.
So simple.
Yeah.
But it looked cool.
Yeah, I was really proud of that. It took forever, but... and then, the bullet shot. What you have to do is you got to record 180-degree angle. So you just do one camera angle on the person firing the gun. Then you do a camera angle beside of him where he's not in it, and you just keep going in these small squares until you get to where the gun is actually firing. And then in the program, you take all these videos and you place them in a virtual circle. So it's like you're grazing over multiple video frames, but it looks like one shot. And then you take this special effect bullet, you have to draw it out and add materials on it, like virtual materials, which adds reflection, and then add air and fire or whatever, and recoil and all that. Yeah, it's a little hard to imagine talking about it, but it makes so much sense when you see it.
You know, speaking of special effects, there was one other one that you used to really enjoy where you would go into After Effects and put the asteroid coming in and hitting Earth, or whatever.
Yeah.
You saw in Russia where the meteor came really close to the Earth, right? Did you see the video that the people took from the street?
Yeah, man. Just everybody has their camera at the sky that day. They're like, "Oh, it's such a beautiful morning."
Yeah, but it looks just like that special effect. I mean, you wouldn't even know. They had to put a disclaimer on the video saying this is not a movie because it looks like a movie.
I know, it was nuts. It's pretty scary, really. 1,100 people were injured. Yeah, so end of the world, baby.
Yeah, I was saying, I've said it before, but it really calls into question the whole the dinosaurs being killed by an asteroid, right?
Yeah.
Because we haven't seen that. I don't think a meteor. Well, I guess I remember one coming close to the Earth. I don't know, 10 years ago or something. But it wasn't like that, obviously. But in our lifetimes, we haven't seen a whole lot of spatial activity going on.
Well, you don't see it, but it happens a lot. They did say that actually most meteors come to Earth. They actually blow up over the ocean, so we just never know they're there. Or it happens in a desolate area. It just so happened to be a town in Siberia that people had cameras and got to see it all, because at first people thought they were being attacked.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
yeah, just blows up. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Just imagine if something about 3 miles wide did that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You think you would be standing there with the camera like everyone else, or you think you'd be running inside? Of course, I don't know if going inside would do anything.
No, I don't have enough speed. Come on. It's like, hey, if I just so happen to have a survive here, I'm going to have something good. Or if I die and they find my camera, hey, it was worth it.
Have you ever seen the movie, or not the movie, but the TV show Dead Like Me?
No.
It was with Ellen Munthe, and also the guy from Princess Bride was in it as well, Inigo Montoya. Anyway, it was a show about Grim Reapers, and the whole premise is that every once in a while God or whoever picks people right before they die to be Grim Reapers, and they're the ones that go get the souls when people die. It's a comedy, but the show's about this girl that dies, and she's picked to be a Grim Reaper, so it's about her life living on Earth as a Reaper. And the way she dies is the beginning of the show. The very first thing you see is this. I can't remember if there was a building that exploded or there was some bad plumbing, but somehow a toilet seat. Oh, I remembered. It was from the International Space Station. That's right. The toilet seat somehow got jettisoned from the station and flew to Earth. Of course, this could never happen. But anyway, you see the toilet seat as a meteor coming down from the sky, and it strikes her. That's how she dies.
Oh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure to disintegrate before it ever made it down here.
But that's the first thing you see in the show is she's standing there, and she's having a really bad day, and a toilet seat from outer space hits her.
It's kind of like what Joe Dirt. When the big ball of fire hits the ground, he thinks it's a meteor, so he carries it around with him, but he finds out it's actually a big ball of crap from an airplane. And he was he's eating French fries off of it with ketchup. And they're like, yeah, so these planes will just drop the dump, 30,000 feet in the air, and it freezes into a hard ball of poop and just hits the ground. And he's like, yeah, this is a big tell. There's a piece of corn in it. That was pretty good.
That's pretty funny. Yeah. I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Yeah.
What's your favorite David Spade performance?
Probably that.
Yeah.
Joe Dirt. Yeah,
I think so.
That's the defining moment in his career.
I mean, I loved him in Tommy Boy and Black Sheep as well, but those were really Chris Farley's movies.
Yeah, well, he was essentially the same character in both of them, just like Chris Farley was.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, how do you use the same two guys over and over and expect different results? Let's just change their name. Different movie.
Yeah. Yeah, and the second one was a political campaign instead of breaks.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
But I still watch those shows every time they come on. I have to sit down and watch them.
Oh, yeah, they're great. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from them. They're classics.
Since we're all one big happy family here on Kinetic Hi-Fi, Derek, I wanted to share something with you and then get your input on it.
Okay.
And maybe we could rap about this for a few minutes. Who knows? But earlier in the week, Tuesday night to be specific, there's a new show on Kinetic Hi-Fi with a friend of ours named Mike Bills, and it's called The Retro Show. And he's a wedding DJ, so it's a show where he pretty much comes on and takes requests and plays songs. It's not really a talk show. Well, Tuesday night, he had a great theme, and I really enjoyed it. 80s movies soundtracks. And your favorite ones, and some of the best ones. And, listening to that, you always think about all this. I mean, you got Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, Breakfast Club. I mean, all kinds of awesome movie soundtrack songs all throughout the 80s. I was wondering, what's your favorite?
Soundtracks, songs of the 80s? Soundtrack?
Yeah, well, from a movie. A song, 80s song from an 80s movie.
Don't you forget about me.
He played that one.
Yeah, that's probably the only one I can think of.
Simple Minds.
Don't dance if you want. Oh, that's not really a song in the movie, is it? Don't dance if you want to. You will leave your world behind.
That was a good 80s song, though.
Yeah, it was. I don't know.
Well, like Kenny Loggins was like, he did Footloose, he did Danger Zone, Got Huey Lewis from Back to the Future.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Power of Love. Yeah. I'll take that. Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And like I said, Beetlejuice, or not Beetlejuice, I'm sorry, Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah.
Had the Ghostbusters theme song.
Oh, dang. There are a lot of good ones when you think about it.
There are, isn't there?
God, I was
really
like
start thinking
80s.
about it, you're like, yeah.
Who cares? But nah, you're right.
Yep. Some good stuff. So I thought that was pretty enjoyable.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Some I saw on Yahoo, I'm trying to find the article, but I thought it was really interesting. There's actually a film nominee, that recorded their entire movie in 8mm, and the guy ran out of money and couldn't shoot anymore. So he bought this, or 8mm camera. He bought this app on iPhone 5 called 8mm, and he's like, yeah, it pretty much looked the same, so I finished my documentary recording with that. And it looked great.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I downloaded it because I'm an idiot. And it actually does. It looks really cool. I'm like recording my wife last night. She's just sitting there. I'm like, hon, look, you look like you're in the 20s. This is what it must have looked like. And she's just sitting there, and it's like, glitch. It has that old glitch, and the film moves up and down a little bit. It's really cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like $2.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, you could do
8mm.
You could do like 70s and 80s film, and the old pink looking film that was like in Wonder Years or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all the old film types. It's awesome.
And then it's all on that same app.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We went and did an interview with Wade Boggs at the Riverdogs Stadium, Hall of Fame baseball player, and used an iPhone to record the audio. And the audio was fantastic.
Really?
Because, we went to the studio on the way over there, and we were like, okay, what do we want to take to record it? And they have a whole suitcase of broadcasting equipment that they have set up to take out for whenever they do remotes. And I opened up the pack, and I'm thinking, okay, we're going to a very small media event. It should be about 10 people probably. And I don't want to carry in this big suitcase full of cables and wires and a mix board and all these microphones. So we're like, I wonder how the iPhone's going to work, and it has a recording device on it. And sure enough, we recorded it. It sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, it's
good.
But that's the big thing about Apple. I mean, they don't cheap out on the components that they put in their electronics.
No, they don't. You get what you pay for all the way through, and people don't realize that. Yeah, but you get some people like, why does it scratch up so easy? Well, because it's made out of aluminum. It's super light. There's a reason why it's as light as it is.
Yeah, exactly. And they put a lot of design, time, money themselves into it.
Yeah.
And people say, well, why not just get the Samsung? You know, that's cheap or whatever. Yeah, you're right. It's cheap. It's cheap electronics. It's going to break in a year or something.
Yeah. No, and I've picked up, the Samsung, the Galaxy 3, and it's big, and actually it had a couple cool graphical things. I will say there's, the 3D background and things like that's cool. But it's like, yeah, but, there's still not enough that's different about it. I don't know. Because you can still feel like it's a complete copy, a ripoff, and I hate that. But plus, I bought an Apple so early that it would be stupid for me to change.
Yeah.
and I mean that in a great way. Like, hey, I had an iPhone 3GS, I had a Mac computer in 2004 and all that. And now I buy everything on the App Store. So it's just like, if I was to switch phones now, it would cost me $250 to get everything I had on my other phone. Like, truly.
I remember back in high school, I was on the newspaper staff, and we had Macintoshes, but we had the old school iMacs that were the funny bubble-looking big screen monitor computers. Mm. Not the really old ones, but, mid-'90s ones.
Right.
And I remember that the word processor function had a singing... it would sing the words that you wrote out, but it would sing it in a tone. And we had actually written a poem to go right along with the tone, so we had this awesome song. And we go in class every day and play it. It drove our teacher crazy.
Oh, I'm sure they appreciated it.
But that's the thing. Apple's always been an innovator, and other people have had to kind of follow in line. But I think the Samsung was probably a bad example to give. I think the Galaxy's probably a decent tablet.
Well,
but
not even a tablet, the phone, like the S3 Galaxy. The big phone. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
Like right now, Apple and Samsung are dominating the phone market together. Like they are both dominating. And everybody else is trying to catch up. And, I even played with the old Windows phone. That thing sucks.
Yeah, it really did. Well, we've talked about how that Zune was terrible, too.
Yeah.
It amazes me that Microsoft was able to put the Xbox together, truly.
Well, remember, for the first 3 years at Red Ring of Death on everybody, I went through 2 of them.
Yeah. Not to mention, that first Xbox was a monster.
Oh, I love that thing.
Yeah. But it was so big.
It was huge, but I had that thing for 8 years. It never broke. Never. And I just sold it. I sold it. It worked great, though. No, because I got the 360. I thought it was going to be better. And, I had it 3 months, and all of a sudden, Red Ring of Death. So I got rid of it, and then got it.
Well, I told you that Drew's has gone out now, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got that as well, so... But you know what hasn't gone out?
What?
My PlayStation.
I know. Well, I told you I traded mine in for the white one last week. And, we'll talk a little bit later about the PlayStation 4 news as well.
Yeah,
so that's interesting. We've got some great stuff about that. But we'll hit that later, if that's okay.
Did I hear... Yeah, that's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
Did I hear you say you took your PlayStation with you when you were sitting in the Social Security office the other day?
PSP.
Oh, your PSP.
Okay, yeah. So
that's what I thought.
I bought a PSP off a friend of mine from work. It was like $50. No big deal. And
okay.
Yeah, it's actually the PlayStation or PSP 1000, like the first generation. What's great about that is you can hack it and make it play Super Nintendo games. And
oh, really?
Yeah, so I have 803 Super Nintendo games on it right now. And
wow.
And I have Final Fantasy VIII on there. I have never been able to beat Final Fantasy VIII, more because the discs had problems. Now I'm playing through. I'm at the end of the 3rd disc right now. The game's come almost to an end. I know. I'm so excited. This will be the first Final Fantasy I actually beat, aside from Final Fantasy X. And then when I do that, then I'm going to jump on to Final Fantasy IX. And then we'll see how I feel if I want to go back and do 7.
How did you feel the first time you went and bought a Final Fantasy game and looked inside and saw that it had 4 discs in there?
Honestly, I think I bought the game more just because I felt good. It was like, I gotta Final Fantasy. Look, I got 4 games worth right here. There's some cool faces on the front. The cinematics look awesome in the beginning. It's so amazing. But I couldn't put it into time. Right now I've put in 27 hours into this game, to and from work. And, yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
I never got that far in that one.
Yeah. Oh, well, Squall, the lead character of the game, is really depressing. He reminds me a lot of myself when I was 13.
Especially with that brown jacket.
Oh, yeah. But he's just so depressing. I don't know. I just don't... Like, in the beginning, he's just like, why does everybody rely on me? God. He is. He just, the whole game, he's like that. And I guess the whole game, he's, like, developing into somebody that we're supposed to care about. It's not working for me. I'm just like, damn it, Squall, shut up and do your job. I'm tired of hearing you complain. Stop talking. And
you know, have you ever stopped to think about what the heck those people do in that game? I mean, what are they?
Well, they're students. Well, they're seeds, and they are. They're supposed to dispatch.
Is that what they are?
They're supposed to dispatch around the world and like fight wars and protect people. You know, they're like ambassadors with weapons, gun blades. And then a sorceress kind of comes in there, and she's like, listen, I'm going to take over the world. And they're like, hell no. And then you find out all of the characters are related, or they all grew up in an orphanage together and they all forgot. I'm like, I just find that really hard to believe you didn't realize all of you grew up together. How did you not remember this? And then they're like, oh, I guess it's these monsters that we're with. I guess they make us forget. I'm like, bull crap, you guys suck. It's like, and only one of them remembers. Only one, and then they're like, oh yeah.
Is it the girl? Who is it that remembers?
No, it's the sniper, the guy with the hat. He's like, yeah, I couldn't believe you guys didn't remember. I remembered. Hi. And that's how I hear him talking. These are the voices I hear. That's how he talks. Hey, what's up? I'm Irving. What's going on?
Does he wear a cowboy hat?
He does, yes.
Yeah, I remember that guy.
I'm Irvine. What's going on? Squall's like, listen, why does everybody bother me? God. And then Zell, he's just like, come on, Squall, let's go fight. Yeah. and their
mouths never match up with their movements.
Well, they don't. Their mouths don't move at all, because it's PlayStation 1.
The head just kind of bobs.
Yeah, and Cypher, who's the bad guy, is like, you fools! Oh, you guys will never take my place beside the sorceress. I mean, that's how he talks. And then Renault is just like, come on, Squall, why don't you just look in my eyes? Love me, love me. Quistis is like the pedophile teacher, even though she's their age, but she's their teacher, so it's kind of weird. She wanted a relationship with Squall, and she's like, but then I realized that my feelings from when I was a child, when we grew up together. Like, you're such a freak, Quistis. Freak.
They're all freaks. They really are.
Yes. Like, who the hell brings around a bunch of animals with them, like a woman in an ice cube and a freaking demon with horns and fire?
Yeah, those things are crazy.
Yeah, the GFs.
They're spirit. What do they call those?
GFs.
Right. They call upon the spirits and they come out and attack. You know,
fight on their behalf.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, but I hate it because in some of the scenes you'll get into it and like the camera zooms way out.
Yep.
And so like you're trying to figure out how to walk and you can't hardly see the stuff and because the graphics aren't good enough. I notice sometimes to even show up like doors sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll walk around. I used to walk around for hours on those games.
Yeah.
And finally, I'd find this door that was like right in front of me the whole time, and that's what I was supposed to go through.
Dude, same thing happened to me. In fact, I leveled up 8 times before I found this thing, and within a 3-window place, I couldn't find it anywhere. Then I finally got angry, and I was like, all right, I'm Googling it. And they were like, yeah, you just go up to the middle. I'm like, what? And I walk right over, and I hit X, and sure enough, this elevator appears. I'm like, that's bull! It wasn't even there! Oh, I'm so mad.
You know, but because of that, I've almost exclusively, in games like that, I usually try to find a walkthrough or a FAQ. about it. An FAQ online.
I only do it because the whole point of me playing that game really is the story. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
I just want to get to point B. I want to get further in the story here. I want Squall to get it on with Renoa and end the game that way. That is the whole point of me playing. There's an unfinished relationship, and I want them to get it on. I mean, the thing is, the guy risks his life to save her in space. And when she wants a hug, he finds an excuse not to give her one. He's like, oh, we really don't have time. We got to go save these other guys. I'm like, dude, it's a freaking hug. You should be making out with her. Oh, something. You got 5 minutes. Do something about it. Oh.
Do something about it. I'm the one who has to sit here watching you idiots.
It's true. And they're with each other all the time. That's the thing. She's always just like, can we just blah, blah, blah. And he's like, God, I'm just tired. I don't feel like it.
I know.
I'm like, Squall, are you a man? What's going on? Why did you save her? Why? If you're just going to let this die. Oh. He's never in the mood. Oh, never. Ever. Every girl that hits on him, he's like, God, I got homework to do. Leave me alone.
Yeah, and I love how they're supposed to be students and they look like they're 30.
Well, they're 18. Like they're Yeah, and I love with his character too. They just kind of make him the general, like the headmaster of the school. He's just like, all right, well, I mean, you're the leader now, so have fun. And Squall's like, what? Why am I the leader? They're like, listen, you were born to do this, so just do it. He's like, what the hell does that mean? But all right.
And that's pretty much how the conversations go. Till they'll be like, Squall, you must do this. But I don't understand.
Yeah.
You must do this.
It's like,
okay.
I mean, even like the freaking headmaster, you find out the woman that you're trying to fight, like out of just like on the side. He's like, yeah, it's my wife. I'm like, wait, what? What, we're killing your wife? He's like, yeah, no big deal. And then later in the game, when you find out she was possessed, he's like, sorry, I ran away. I mean, if she won, I'd feel kind of bad because you guys are dead. And if you guys won, that means you guys killed my wife. So that kind of sucks. And I'm like, yeah, why didn't you tell us that, you jerk? Like, clue us in a little bit.
Did you ever play the Final Fantasy X, though, and forward on PlayStation 2?
What was it?
Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, I loved it. That was the only other game I ever beat.
The character I thought it got a little less monotonous. They kind of filled out the story a little bit more. There wasn't so many. A lot of the older Final Fantasies. I mean, I love Final Fantasy, but like I said, there's a lot of dead time.
Yeah.
You know, you're walking around on a map or whatever, and I felt like they filled that out a little bit in 10, and the characters got a little goofier.
Yeah. Well, they also had voices. See, that's a big difference. When you're reading, like, I quickly learned that I really don't need the volume at all for Final Fantasy because they only have 4 songs.
And they're weird.
It's the same thing over and over, and then like this waltz music, and then oh wait, no, that's Street Fighter. No, all right, well it has something else, but that's Street Fighter.
There's one that goes do 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 do.
Couldn't be more painful.
Yeah, that's the one that when they're in the church.
Yeah, they should
remember a church.
They should totally hire me to write the music for that crap because I will make it amazing.
Yeah, there used to be a lot of games like that. I feel like those style games, the Japanese RPGs that were just really long and drawn out and be like 10 discs long.
Yeah.
You used to buy those. I mean, there was hundreds of them on PlayStation.
Yeah, they're all on PlayStation Network, like Parasite Eve, Silent Hill, Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9. And this is how they make them, because, I mean, it's kind of cheap way to make them when you think about it. And this is why they could go through with it, okay? They build the engine, they make the 3D models of these characters, they spend most of the money on the CG videos, and then they just have somebody draw a picture and then just keep drawing pictures. Just draw 300-400 pictures, and there's your game. Because you're walking on a picture. The picture looks amazing. When you see a picture of the car, it looks amazing. When you drive the car, it looks like ragged crap. So, hold on, I got a phone.
So Derek is leaving me as he is taking a phone call. But, we figured that that's probably more important, really, than the show, the phone calls. We don't take phone calls here on To The Echo, and that's because this show is actually pre-produced. Derek lives in New York, so... that's what we do, and he's back. Welcome back.
I got to answer the door in a minute. I think it's mail. So,
that's fine. We're almost to our break anyway here in a couple of minutes.
All right, so just keep talking. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
okay,
that's fine. Go ahead. But as we're talking about here, what do you think, listeners? I'm sure you're in the chat box, and please join in the chat box if you're not there. It's Kinetic Hi-Fi. You've already got it pulled up, so you can listen to the show. So you might as well just jump in the chat box, chat with us. But what's your favorite RPG? Do you have a favorite RPG game? Did you enjoy those games that were so drawn out? Did you ever go buy a PlayStation game back in the day, and there'd be like 5 discs in there, and you think to yourself, I mean, it's kind of like looking at a book, like an old Tom Clancy hardback novel. The first glimpse of it that you get, you think, there's no way I can ever get through all this material. It's too much. But then you play through, and the stories generally flow pretty well. But I kind of miss those games. I just don't have time to put into an RPG anymore, though. Like we're mentioning Final Fantasy VIII, it's a great game. It's a lot of fun. You sit down, but you got to be able to dedicate like 30 hours to it. And that's not easy to do. The problem is when you can't dedicate that 30 hours to that game, then you're mad at yourself because you spent money on it.
That's true.
I used to try to buy basically any of those type of games. I'd get on the used rack. The rack at the very bottom of the wall.
Yeah.
They put it on the floor pretty much.
Uh-huh.
Those are like $5.
Yeah.
They might be really old, but still pretty decent games.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, now you can get them all on PlayStation Network and all that. They're really cheap. I mean, especially the old ones. But they were fun games, though. I mean, it's kind of interesting how they draw all these pictures, because those games must not have been that hard to make, especially in the PlayStation, with Final Fantasy. Because of the paintings. I mean, obviously it costs money to paint those pictures, but, I mean, wasn't that great looking,
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Based on how awesome the games were,
Yeah.
What's your favorite system overall?
Oh, God. That's a good one. Probably the one that I owned the most games for was Xbox One. I mean, Super Nintendo was probably the best for overall games because it's still the one I go back to. Sega sometimes. But I don't know. The thing with next generation games is they don't have as many games, and they don't have as many good games. There's no imagination. It's all sequels. It's just like the movie industry now. They're just like, oh, Call of Duty 15, let's do it. It's the same game, essentially.
Yeah, it is.
It really.
They just change where you are.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, all right, now we're going to do this in Panama. So,
and they say it just like that too. It's incredible.
All right, we're going down. We're going to go shoot them in the Panama. Don't let us down. Team 1, fight.
Down by the canal, boy.
And you got a slightly different gun, but it does exactly the same thing. It just looks different. No, the reason why I had to leave for a second there is because when I bought this PSP, I needed to update it to the newest operating system, right? And the battery, I charged it all day and it only went up to 50%. And I was like, what? And it won't let you update unless your battery is at least 80%. At least.
Oh, wow.
And I was getting furious because I'm like, this bastard sold me this thing that doesn't work and all that. I was really mad. So I ordered this battery, this replacement battery, and they're hard to find, man. These things are not easy to find online. Not good ones, anyways. So I finally find one that has good reviews, and I order it. It's like $20. And that's what it is. That's what I have in my hand right now. But I leave the other thing charged up for about 20 more minutes after I ordered this thing, and then the battery jumped up to 100%, and I was able to update it, and the battery lasts for like 6 or 7 hours. So,
oh wow!
Now I have an extra battery. So, so that's cool.
You're so impatient.
Yeah, but dude,
well,
I charged it all day, and the only reason why I think it took that long is because he hadn't charged it because he has a PlayStation Vita.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, the thing is, and a lot of people don't realize this, and we'll get into a little bit of tech, trivia here for you. Batteries like to stay charged, believe it or not.
No.
It just burns me up when I see people not treating their batteries right.
Yes.
You don't want to leave your. Like I say, they like to be charged, but at the same time, once they're charged, they want to be used and then charged again.
Yeah.
So, it's a good thing to to use your battery and charge it back up.
It's true. And the thing is,
good battery maintenance.
This battery didn't only come with a battery; it came with a new back, and it came with for the PSP, and it came with a screen protector.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this: how much did that battery cost you?
$20.
Oh, that's not bad.
Well, I couldn't find a Sony battery. Like, I was looking everywhere for the Sony version, but apparently they've given up on the PSP. Jerks.
Yeah, it was kind of a short-lived thing, the PSP. I really liked it, but it's all it was the Sega Game Gear made smaller.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing was with the PSP was they just didn't do a good job with getting games on it. Like,
yeah, that's right.
They just didn't make a lot of good games. They made this weird disc. And while they had a few cool games, and probably the best thing about it is being able to play PlayStation 1 games on it, that was probably one of the things going for it. And at the time, remember, there weren't iPods, iPod Touches, or iPhones or anything. So it was pretty cool. But when the iPhone came out and actually started making games, it rendered it almost obsolete, minus the PlayStation 1 games. Because, again, I'm not going to watch movies on it. I'm only playing PlayStation 1 games and now Super Nintendo games on it.
Yeah. Well, that'd be the only point.
Yeah. Right.
You remember when I remember when Game Boy Advance came out in color, and it was color and 3D and everything, and I'm thinking, Sega did this 10 years ago.
Well, Game Boy in color, remember, wasn't the kind of color that Game Gear was. Because Game Boy came out with like Game Boy Mini, or it was like a little. It was a smaller Game Boy. It wasn't as fat, and it came in multiple colors, and it had some slight tint of color in it.
Yeah, but then they had the Advance, which was full color.
Well, yeah, exactly. But yeah, again, like, it took them forever to do that. And yeah, Game Gear. The thing was, Game Gear had a big battery. Game Gear was huge.
Yeah, that was a huge device.
It was like a brick. You needed it's like $10 a week to charge it on your electricity bill, and it only played a few games. Like, they didn't make as many for it as they should have.
Yeah, but they had Sonic.
Yeah, that's the only game I remember. Actually, I wonder how many games. Let's see. How many?
While you look that up, I'll go ahead and say that I think Sega Genesis is my favorite overall game device. I have a bunch of games for it. That may be part of it. It was probably my first system that I played on. That might be part of it as well. But I really like the Sega games. All the Disney games were great. They had Power Rangers and like Sonics, and I mean, Sega just had some great. They had some great stuff back in the day, and it's sad to see. It's sad to see arcades go the way that they have. But it really kind of leaves the arcade game industry in kind of a weird spot. Like Sega, I mean, they're still around, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're more.
What are they doing?
They're a gaming company. Like, they just make games now. and license out everything. Because, I mean, they make a lot of money from licensing Sonic on iTunes and all that and things like that. So, and they make the Aliens games, yeah. So that's pretty much what they're focused in on right now. I mean, I feel like Nintendo's going to go that way soon. The Wii U is doing terribly, and it's only ever so slightly better than the systems that are out right now. So, I don't know. I think Nintendo made a grave mistake doing what they did when they did it. And to let you know, there's 363 games on the Sega Game Gear.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did not know that. They were making games up till looks like 96.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean most of them. 96 is probably the last year they made games. A lot of 95 because there was like Batman Forever was on it and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then after that, they came out with the Dreamcast, which was also a fantastic system. Sega's got some good stuff.
Dreamcast was the most underrated system. It wasn't given the life it deserved. And, I'm just kind of... I'm sad. Because, remember, it was PlayStation 2 graphics before the PlayStation 2 came out.
Yeah,
and then
pretty much.
And then the reason why PlayStation 2 beat Dreamcast was because it was backwards compatible.
Yep. Well, with that, we're going to take a break. Ladies and gentlemen, we're so glad that you've decided to join us in the studio on KineticHiFi.com this evening. It is Saturday night, and of course, the feeling is right, and it's To The Echo Radio Show. We're so glad to have you with us. It's Nick O'Kelly here and Derek Daisy as well. We're going to take that break. But before we do, why don't you follow us on Facebook.com/To The Echo Radio Show. You can follow us on Twitter @To The Echo Radio. And also, like we said earlier in this segment, our first single off the album, Plastic Souls, from our band Suburban Myth, came out on Monday night on iTunes. It's called River of Life. Suburban Myth's the band. You can find it on iTunes, and you can go check us out on ReverbNation.com/Suburban Myth. I hope I got everything.
Yeah, did you take your pills?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Yeah.
We're good there. So we're gonna.
All right, well, we'll be right back right after this.
You're listening to KineticHiFi.com, baby.
To be pampered is to be treated with excessive care and attention, and that's just what you'll get at Shim Salon Spa, named Salon of the Year by Modern Salon Magazine. With over 20 years of experience pampering and beautifying the Low Country, Laura and her team focus on the needs of each client. Shim Salon Spa is a full-service boutique offering the latest in color and artistic hair creations for women and men. You can enjoy a massage, pedicure, and manicure in the most innovative and most relaxing spa experience anywhere. Renew and reinvent yourself. Located at 506 Live Oak Drive in Mount Pleasant, behind Page's Okra Grill. Call Shim Salon Spa today at 843-606-2506 or visit the website at Shim, that's SHEM, salonspa.com. Call them today, 843-606-2506.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah, hey.
Hey, why is the computer so slow?
Internet connection?
It can't be the internet connection. We pay like $300 a month for that.
Holy chestnut.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, I know.
Yeah.
So it must be. Let's look around here for a second.
All right.
Yeah. You know what?
What?
Where's this wire go?
That wire?
That wire.
I don't know. It looks new.
It does kind of look new, but then there's like 18 wires down there. Let's try plugging it in over here. What do you say?
No, not there. No, right here.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Are you sure, Tom?
Positive. Plug it in.
All right, let's try that out.
Okay.
Don't be that guy. Instead, put your trust in ITSimplified.com. Cloud computing, data center servers, network management, Web 2.0, SQL, scalable architectures, programming, tech infrastructure, security, and anything else you shouldn't bother trying to figure out. Call 843-376-1991. That's 843-376-1991. ITSimplified.com. That's IT-simplified.com. Solutions simplified.
Did you know that dysfunctions of the nervous system are often leading causes of poor posture, disease, fatigue, and much more? Dr. Brett Kahn of Neurologic Integrative Health starts from the beginning, working with patients to get a good picture of their past, present, and future health before embarking on the road of lasting well-being. Dr. Kahn brings together all aspects of a person's health to determine the best way to get results in the shortest amount of time. If you are suffering from low back pain, neck pain, pinched nerves, maybe a recent auto injury, headaches, migraines, shoulder injuries, knee injuries, numbness, tingling, repetitive stress, give Dr. Brett Kahn a call at 843-400-4087, 843-400-4087, or visit neurologichealth.com. You can even drop by the office at 874 Whipple Road, Suite 200 in Mount Pleasant.
Do you love your HOA? Well, if the thought of your HOA doesn't bring a smile to your face, it's time to consider Community Management Group. A 5-time Alfred P. Sloan Foundation Award winner, Community Management Group is the only accredited association management company based in Charleston. Guided by strong core values, Community Management Group goes above and beyond the minimum requirements to deliver an unparalleled life-enhancing experience to more than 110 communities. Whether you're an irritated community member or overburdened HOA volunteer, it's time you stopped living for your neighborhood and started enjoying a true sense of community. You can love your HOA. Contact Community Management Group today by calling 843-795-8484. That's 843-795-8484. Or simply visit cmgcharleston.com. That's cmgcharleston.com. Community Management Group. Building community. Do you like chocolate milk? Well, if you like sweet but nutritious, you found the right place. KineticHiFi.com.
Welcome back in. It's To The Echo Radio Show. I am Nick O'Kelly. With me here, as always, Derek Daisy. It's a lovely, lovely Saturday evening. How you feeling tonight, Derek?
Well, after the tornadoes, the hurricanes, and the 5 million people dying, I feel great.
It's good times, you know. I mean, it's really the way we live these days.
Yes.
Tragedy and terror.
You know, and for those who caught Blakely's song last week, be sure to check out our new blog on WordPress. It's on our Facebook page, so check it out. We asked him questions that he so friendingly answered, and and he told us to go F ourselves, and he'll never be back again. So...
Yeah, and we appreciate all the listeners that were in last week because we were highlighting his music. We're going to do that again in the future. First, we got to find people to highlight. So if you have some music that you'd like to get to us for us to spotlight, talk about, listen to, review, whatever, you can do that. You can contact us, facebook.com/To The Echo Radio Show. You can email us at, what is it? It's To The Echo Radio at Gmail?
To the Echo Radio Show at gmail.com.
Okay, To The Echo Radio Show at gmail.com. You can email us there. You can call the studio, 843-225-8292. Just get in touch with us through the Facebook page. You can find our pages as well, and let us know about your music, and we'd be more than happy to review it for you. That's what we are. I mean, we're music business students, and we love to spread our knowledge. Really, we just like to talk about nothing.
Pretty much. That's what I tell everybody. And to start that off with talking about nothing, Nicholas, I have been in the market of buying a new car. But not just
really?
any new car. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. This one I keep going back to, and I try to forget. I try to talk myself out of it. But the problem with me is I'm very impulsive. When I want something, I just want it. I can't get it out of my head. I can't sleep. In fact, before we started the show, I was sleeping because I just didn't get any sleep last night because I was daydreaming. You know, Nick, you actually might be a little familiar with this car as your company makes it. Smart car.
Yes, the smart car.
Smart car. Little guy.
It's a pretty intelligent little car, not to...
Well, it's, I mean, you know, my wife can't understand why I want it. I'm like, listen, hon, when I was growing up, I wanted a Volkswagen Beetle. I wanted an old Beetle.
Yeah,
like
the good
not
Beetle.
the new one. Yeah. And, you know, to have that now doesn't make sense. So this is kind of like me going for something like a Beetle, but it's a lot stronger. And, yeah, it's cooler looking. Or it's cool looking. Yeah, they have this special where you can lease the car for $99 a month. And,
oh, wow.
yeah. I don't know if you know that, but yeah, you lease it for $99 a month, you know, pending approval of your credit. And, well, I was pre-approved. So, I'm trying to come up with a down payment because you got to pay, you know, what is it, $1,000 and then taxes and all that stuff. And you pay the taxes in New York City on the entire car versus what you're going to be leasing it for, which would be 3 years. And then you have the option to buy it at the end of the lease if you want. Anyways, I thought I'd dive into that a little bit and explain my fancy, and maybe you'll be able to chime in some stuff. But, I mean, first and foremost, Nick, it's miles per gallon. Highway is 38 miles per gallon, 32 in the city.
38. And now this is we should clarify, the gasoline version of the car that you're looking to buy, correct?
Yeah. I can't plug the electric one in anywhere, and that's $10,000 more. It makes no sense.
And that is really the problem with those cars. It takes an entire cultural change to make it work widespread because you'd need charge ports instead of gas stations more readily available to the public.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Park for 8 hours and let your car charge? That doesn't
exactly.
make sense.
Not to mention, before you get on your rant about why you're wanting this so badly and all, I was also going to say that it's perfect for you living in the city. You could park that thing anywhere.
Yeah. You actually, in New York City, you get half off of all parking for having that car. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because it takes half a space. I mean, it really does. And I mean, the front of the car, I mean, you know, in the cab, people say it's really small. How are you going to fit in it? It fits a 6'5" person comfortably in the car. In fact, out of all the reviews and then people driving it, they've said that it's actually one of the most comfortable cars they've driven in. It's a little tighter than, you know, a normal car is, not as wide. But for the most part, yeah, extremely comfortable. It's an automatic manual. What that means is you don't have a clutch, but the engine acts like a manual, and the car automatically does the manual shifting. So you'd be like, so just like that. But you have the option to override it and take over it yourself, where you just push up when you want to go up a gear, down when you want to go down a gear. And it's idiot proof. So if you do it, like if you're in 5th gear and you try to go down 3 gears, it won't let you. It'll be like, no, you know what? Why don't you just let me drive it, okay? It has, a lot of people ask me about safety in it. It's actually a really safe car because the shell is like really strong. In fact, they demonstrated it in a commercial where they sat like a big SUV on top of it and the car didn't buckle at all. No problem. In fact, I've seen a lot of pictures where big vehicles hit the Smart and end up ramping over the Smart.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And you know, it's like it's smaller, it's cheaper, it's got you know, cheaper engine parts and stuff. Here it's very cheap to replace things in it. You know, and it's really customizable. You can customize the shell. I saw somebody who changed the colors to yellow and red and had a Fisher-Price sticker on
that's
the side.
awesome.
Yeah.
So it looks like the little kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
totally.
awesome.
100%. I
I
saw
used to
somebody
love
with
that. I used to love that little car. And that is what it looks like, too, isn't it?
Yeah. It
You know,
really
I used
is.
to drive that thing around as a kid and think to myself, no other car looks like this at all.
This is stupid.
This is like a newer version of the Flintstones car. Where's my Corvette?
When I was a kid, I always wanted the Power Wheels Batmobile. And I never got it.
Yes. Hey, I had a friend that had one of those. I've ridden in it.
Oh, is it cool?
Yeah, it was cool.
The only thing with Power Wheels is their battery lasts like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
5 minutes of good time.
Yeah. Did you ever get those bicycles that they weren't Power Wheels, but they looked like dirt bikes? And it was a bicycle that you pedaled, but it had the dirt bike shell on the outside of it.
I didn't have it. I wanted one really bad.
I had one.
Yeah.
It was really hard to pedal
Yeah.
because you were constantly rubbing all that plastic.
Yeah, it looks like all motorcycle-y.
Yeah,
You
it
just
looked like a motorcycle, but I did not go any faster.
Just look like a jackass. Just
Yeah. I'd be like, and then a car goes by me, and I'm like, oh.
Well, I will say about this car, its top speed, I think, is 95 miles per hour. It's truly a city car. Now, you can't take it on highways. You just won't be the guy passing people. Because it does take about 14 seconds to get from 0 to 60.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, so it's like... So you probably wouldn't make it... Or you would make it to the end of the parking lot before you hit 85 to go back in time. Or 89, whatever it is. So
88 miles per hour.
88 miles per hour, you crash into the mall, and yeah, everybody dies.
Now, how great would that be? Okay, Back to the Future, smart style, and it shows the
Doc Brown's like, why go back in time? Why, if you're going to go back in time, why don't you do it in style?
Yeah.
Smart car.
And the smart car comes out, it's like, meh, and it runs into the building before it goes back in time.
I could just imagine the railroad or the train pushing it along. The tires fall off. They can't handle it.
I just think it'd be so funny to crash that thing and then it goes back in time. So like they show up completely destroyed. How do we get back now, Doc? That's the real controversy. There's your movie right there.
Yeah. But no, it's I was the thing is, you know what? How it got in my head of getting one. I walk by one every Wednesday.
Oh, see, there's the power of marketing.
Yeah.
What's a
And
dealership or what?
No, I walked by somebody who owned it. I've talked about this on an earlier episode where they just park themselves in a small spot. Like, they're just so small and they U-turn really quickly. Like, they're really maneuverable. Now, I have read a lot of the bad reviews. Like, people are like, man, avoid potholes. Not a good day when you hit a pothole. But in crosswind. So, like, if you're driving in a 60 mile per hour crosswind, you're not gonna have a good time.
You're not gonna have a good time. What's that from?
South Park.
I know, but what is it? It's
the guy. Oh, they're skiing in Aspen.
Yeah, okay, that's right.
If
That's
you,
right.
Yeah, if you what is it when you fry?
If you French fry when you're supposed to have if you French fry when you're supposed to have pizza, you're not gonna have a good time.
So, yeah, there's that, and obviously it's smaller storage, obviously. Because there's no back, essentially. You can fit some stuff in there. Like, I was looking through musicians who do it, and yeah, like, you can fit a guitar amp, you can fit a guitar back there. You could put the passenger seat down and then kind of have like that third area. So that's cool.
Well, you know, that's really the issue. There's no trunk space. There's nowhere to keep anything. But like you said, I didn't know the seats folded down.
The front one, yeah, the right one, yeah.
Does it is it like a pickup truck inside where there's room in behind the seats?
Yeah, there is. There is a little bit of space there, yeah. And then the door also has a space in it. So, yeah, like people say you can get groceries and stuff in there. Like you can put stuff in there. There's just not enough room for another seat.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what at this point is stopping you from getting it? What do you need to do to make the decision?
Down payment.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's $1,800. Insurance is expensive in New York City, so you got to make sure you have enough. And you know, and I mean, they've already called me, man. They've been calling me. They answered all my questions. They're like, all right, so what do you need to know? I'm like, how much am I paying when I get there? All right, I don't want to showboat and blah, blah, blah. Tell me how much it's going to be after taxes. They're like, that's about $1,800. I'm like, okay. All right.
And do you have $1,800 saved?
No.
Oh.
But I will tell you, student loans this month, one of my loans got bought out by another company, so I don't have to pay this month. And then Sally Mae backed it up a month. So I'm like, there's a month's savings. There you go.
Why get ahead on my debt when I could just take in more?
Well, no. I'm not taking in more. Somebody else bought it, so I'm not required to pay for it. And Sally Mae backed it up to another pay period. So, and I didn't ask them to do that, so that doesn't count against me. So I essentially got away with a month.
I don't understand why people sell. You were paying on those loans when they bought it out, weren't you?
I was, and then after I paid it on 9 months, they sold it to the government. So now the government has control, which I'd probably prefer anyways.
I just don't understand how that decision is made. How someone says, hey, I think we've had this one long enough. We're going to go ahead and sell it.
Well, they were Pell Grant loans. I couldn't afford them at the time. They wouldn't work with me. And I was like, all right, I can't pay you. And a company bought them out at that point and said, okay, you have to pay this much amount of money to get out of default. So 9 months of default payments. They didn't take money out of my account this week. I called them up. I'm like, why didn't you take my money? They're like, oh, you're not our problem anymore. And then they gave me the number to this company, and I called them, and I couldn't get through to anybody on the phone. But I went on their website, put in my social, and I pulled up all my account information and found out what I owed. And they were like, you don't owe anything this month. And then I got a letter yesterday in the mail that told me all my payments. So I was like, okay. Well.
Did the payment amount go down?
It did, $30.
Oh,
yep.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah. So I was happy about that. All that tells me is that company I was paying before could have gone down $30, and they were just being jerks. Because I was like, I had to really move some money to make that happen. But anyways, yeah. So if I had the down payment, and also another thing, I don't have my driver's license in New York City. It expired. I went to the Social Security office yesterday. Was there for a couple hours. 150th in line. And when I finally get to the guy and he's like, hey, do you want a printout of your Social Security number temporary? I'm like, does that work to get a driver's license? He's like, no. It's like, okay, no. Because this is the only reason why I need this stupid card.
Are you going to have to go take the test?
No. In New York State, if you transfer within a year after you expire, they just transfer everything over. So I'll be good. I'm thankful because I didn't want to have to take these tests again. Because it's like, you know how to drive. Come on. It's like I have to go back and learn these stupid rules. I know them. It's just, when you're questioned about it, it's like, oh.
So what you're saying is you know them, but you might not know them well enough to pass the test.
Well, I didn't take tests in New York last time, okay? I was in Delaware. We're better drivers over there.
Man, I tell you, South Carolina has some terrible drivers.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime it rains around here, I'm scared to get in the car.
Yeah.
Because people they just don't know how to drive, Derek.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm curious about, Nick, is why didn't you get the smart car? You work at Mercedes-Benz.
Well, because Well, I just didn't. It just worked out with the lot that I went to. I needed to get... Okay, you ready for the story? You
I'm
want
ready,
the story?
please.
All right, I'll give you the story. Fine. I'll give you the story. Okay. I had a Volvo, a 2000 Volvo.
Yeah.
Had a lot of problems there towards the end of it, mainly because I couldn't afford... The thing is, whenever you buy an expensive, especially a European car like that, over in Europe, they don't have the same kind of inspection system that we have here. It's much more rigorous. In a lot of countries over there, you have to go get certain things inspected on your car every year, every few months. They make sure about it. It's just a stricter policy in a lot of countries there.
Yep.
So, you know, I just didn't have the money to get the maintenance done on it that kind of car really requires on the regular basis. So as it started getting higher in mileage, which when I sold it, it had almost 200,000 miles on it.
Huh.
Whenever it gets up like that, there's just things that are going to start happening. It's going to start breaking, and you're going to have to replace parts and belts, and all of those things are going to be very expensive. I even busted out a headlight clip at one point too. I was trying to change the light bulb, and for some stupid reason, I knew that the access to one of the light bulbs was on the inside of the engine, but the secondary, the blinker light bulb, for some reason, I was thinking I couldn't get to it from the inside. I had to pull the headlight out. So I pulled the headlight out and busted the clip off, and it wouldn't go back into the car. So I had to replace the headlight assembly. I mean, I just had to replace all kinds of stuff. So it was finally time to get rid of the Volvo. Unfortunately, like you, I had a bit of a window with my credit that I needed to try to hit, and I still didn't really have a whole lot of money. I couldn't go up on my payments a whole lot, so I wasn't very motivated to go look for a new car, even though I really needed one. Mm-hmm. So when I finally drug myself to a car lot and found that one, I pretty much went with it. It's a Toyota Scion. I'm glad I got it. I really like the car. It gets something like 32, 33 miles to the gallon. Highway driving, so it gets really good gas mileage. It's a really small car, but I tell you, it fits me really well. I've got my shifter right where I can reach it, and even the radio. A lot of times you have to kind of reach to get to a radio. In this car, I don't have to reach for anything, and I guess maybe it's because it was built for Japanese people and I'm huge. But I really do like it. Now, the smart car, if I was to get one, I would probably try to get the all-electric model. To just drive around town. Because the thing is, if you were to get the all-electric smart car, it only goes about 30 miles.
But that's the thing. I don't understand. You're paying $10,000 more for, the ability to plug it in. But in the time that you have that car, and you probably won't have it longer than 5 years, because by then you'll probably have kids. You'll be on your third wife. You're going to need more space. And, I mean, truthfully, how much gas, I was reading how much gas people actually buy on that thing. Some people are like, oh, I saved hundreds of dollars, because you don't fill it that often. It's a smaller tank. It gets much more gas, per gallon. So you might spend $500-600 a year in gas. But that doesn't, where's the difference there? You pay $10,000 more for the other car. And then you gotta, you plug it in every day, which is $2.50 to charge your car to go 30 miles. What if you want to go on a family trip with, you and your wife or your dog?
Yeah, about to say.
Or your girlfriend or whatever. You're
that's saying the all-electric model is $10,000 more.
Yeah. It's expensive.
Yeah, that is interesting. I'm not really sure how those price points were decided upon.
I don't know, Nick. Why don't you talk to the people at your factory? Figure that out for me, huh?
We don't handle sales. I did see something pretty cool in Germany, though, speaking of the smart cars. At their dealership there, they have a stack. They have a big glass tower with a bunch of smart cars stacked up in it.
Oh. On
top of one another. It looks kind of funny.
That is interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty neat,
I'm looking right now. You could get the Pure Coupe, which is the one I'm looking at, and who knows, I might get the Passion Coupe. The Passion Coupe's a little bit better, sportier, a couple $1,000s more. But okay, so Pure Coupe, if you get it with air conditioning, and because it doesn't come with air conditioning to start. Now, the one I would be leasing comes with air conditioning, comes with the stereo. That's about $14,000. Okay, the basic electric drive is $25,000. And then it's 122. I love this per gallon. It's 122 city or 93 miles highway. So that's maybe that's its actually full life. Well, if that was the case, I mean that's not terrible. But regardless, $28,000 for the Carbolet, which is the convertible version of the same car.
Yeah, I'm looking at them now. You know, it's pretty much they took the front cab of a truck and cut everything else off of it.
Yep. I agree.
They just stuck the wheels underneath the front of it.
Yeah. No, I know. That's exactly what it looks like up front. But it's worth it, Nick. I'm trying to save Mother Earth here, one step at a time. Thanks.
Yeah, the Passion Cabriolet kind of looks like a girl's beach car.
Does.
Yeah.
And and it's funny because there's a couple of them I'm interested. Like I'm pretty sure I could deal with any color, truthfully. But if I was to get any color, I would either get gray, black, red. I like red a lot. White or yellow.
Ooh.
Have you seen the yellow one?
I have not seen a yellow one. I'm trying to find one. I did see one that's white and green that's pretty cool.
If you go on the main smartusa.com page, and you'll see a kid with glasses who looks retarded.
Yeah, that's right. I see him.
Yeah, you'll click the third little bubble in that screen, and it'll pop up unretro.
Ooh,
uncolored.
Hey, I like that. School bus yellow with blacked out wheels. Now, that's hot.
That's like Batmobile stuff.
Yeah, that is cool looking. I like that a lot. It looks like the Bumblebee.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The next one is the white and green one. That's kind of cool. Now, that's the totally electric one there.
Yeah, I don't screw them.
Yeah. Well, but there really is a lot of room inside. I mean, because like I said, it's basically the cab of a truck without its front end or back.
Right. No, that's true. Yeah, no, and actually, you said you got 30 miles. It actually gets 122 miles.
Oh, 122. Okay, well that's
per charge, and then 107. Still, I mean, like for a city car, that's still great. Actually, let's check that down. Because I know none of you guys care about cars. I'm sure you're thinking, but I'm telling you, man, and I'm sure you'll think you look stupid. I'm 6 foot. I'm not going to look stupid in this. People are going to be like, "That's the guy who drives the smart car." That's how people are going to remember me.
That's the guy that I want to be, Derek Daisy.
You're going to show up to my gigs, and you're going to see my smart car in the parking lot, and you're going to know that's me. You're going to be like, "Oh, Derek's here."
I like this gray metallic color. Yeah, I mean, I definitely could grow into it. It's a nice looking car. It really is.
It's a little.
Mercedes knows how to put the class in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, hey, if I was going on tour all the time, obviously this wouldn't be the car I want. But I'm just saying, it's small, but you don't have to worry about it because Nick, I'm a garbage acquirer. Remember when I had my Toyota Camry? The thing with me is I just keep putting things in it. Trash. See, this cuts me off. There's a limit here that I can put trash in, before it engulfs me. I wouldn't allow that to happen. Plus, it's a 3-year lease, 10,000 miles. If you want more miles, it's like $5 more a month or whatever. But it's like one of those, I don't know what I'm going to be doing in 5 years, Like maybe in 3 years, I'll be like, you know what? I want a spaceship. They just came out. They're $10,000. We're going to space every day now. I want one of those.
I want the Passion Cabriolet spaceship.
Yeah, okay. Maybe I'll trade it in for that. 2, when you're leasing, if you ever have a problem with the car, you're fully covered under that warranty. They'll take care of you. They'll service you. So it's just kind of like, whatever. And then after 3 years, if I've gone over my $30,000 mile limit, then I might want to look at buying it because it'll probably cost me more than half the car. So, yeah.
Derek, I just pulled up some images on Google of other smart cars and what people have done with theirs. And I found one that's been turned into a monster truck. It's got massive tires on it and everything.
Oh, man. And you inspired me to do that, and I found a smart car Batmobile.
Oh, yeah. There's some cool ones, man. They got some people got some cool smart cars running around the roads.
Well, this one that I'm looking at, this person actually modded it to where the door pops out like a fan. So instead of just opening,
I think I just found what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I've seen ones that look like, that open up like the car in Back to the Future, the DeLorean. Like,
yep.
Yeah, I've seen them that do that. Dude, I want a Batmobile.
I know. It really, it really would be nice to have a Batmobile, I think.
It would be.
You know, let's talk about this for a second.
Okay.
I was noticing the other day, I was watching through some old Batman animated series cartoons and the Justice League. And I tell you, in the animated series, Batman's Batmobile, it was a hot rod. I mean, he drove it around, and it sounded like a hot rod. Mm-hmm. And what do you like better? Do you like the hot rod Batmobile, the really sick, fast car, or do you like the military application vehicle that he uses in the movie?
Again, Burton Batmobile is my favorite. I like the Tumbler. I'm not taking anything away from the Tumbler. The thing is, the Tumbler be really impossible to drive on the streets without getting a ticket, I think.
Yeah.
And think of all the accidents. I hear it's really hard to see in. And, you know, where are your rearview mirrors? There are none, okay?
Yeah.
Where's your brake lights, okay? All I see is a big jumbo jet. At least the Batmobile in 1989 had brake lights. Turn signals.
Yeah. I like the cooler car for sure. I like the one in Batman Forever.
I mean, I like that car. It's really flashy.
Yeah, it's not functional at all.
Yeah, like, I mean, I feel like that's my dad's favorite. I mean, we've had that conversation. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. You know, I've actually seen some really cool Photoshop videos of, like, sports cars made the size of a smart car.
Oh, yeah?
It's really funny. God, I gotta get you a link. But it really is. It's hilarious because you just see this guy and it's just these huge tires and all that, but it's just a little sports car.
Is it YouTube or what?
No, it's on. I just type on Google "smart car custom," and it's probably like the third picture. There's like a little SUV looking smart car.
Oh, I see it. Yeah. But see, are these these? This has to be RC cars. This has to be toys.
I don't know.
No, there's a guy driving that one.
Yeah.
Sure enough. And this Porsche right here, the Porsche looks funny.
Yeah.
Now, how do they do that?
I think it's photoshopped, but if they did make it, it was just, you know, I don't know. I mean, they build a car, just smaller, bigger tires. That's it. God. Oh, Nick, I want one.
Yeah, the interiors are pretty slick. They got the leather.
Yeah, you can put leather in it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't a big fan of leather because when you mess leather up, that's it. You know?
Yeah, you can't get it wet at all.
Yeah, and the problem is I just love bathing on my seats in the car, so... No, it's not like that. It's a lot cheaper to cover a car with, like, you know, if you mess it up, you can, like, I don't know, get some new seat covers and all that. With leather, you're just kind of like, because remember, I had leather in my Camry, and it was nice for a year.
Well, if you don't treat it, though, that was one of the things in the Volvo that I hated. I never treated it well, the leather, I mean. Right. And I mean the literal sense, treat it. And it cracked all over the place. It started flaking off, and it looked terrible.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if your Camry did that, but mine was like the hard leather. I mean, literally, you'd sit on it, it would crack, and you could pull it off. Hey, there's a smart car here a little ways down that same page they've put wings on it and a tail wing, like it looks like an airplane.
I know. That would be cool if they made a friggin' smart car that did that. Mm-hmm. I would be so happy.
Did you see the monster truck one?
I did, yeah. I thought that was cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, I mean, it's just to show you it's different. And, you don't need all that space. And, of course, some people do. And I'm not taking anything away. And some people really do just like that comfort. Some people have kids. Some people bring, they do the whole carpool thing. Not me, baby. Not me. I don't carpool for anybody.
You guys have carpool lanes in the highways that run around the city up there?
I think they have it on the main highways, yeah.
Yeah. Because they have that in L.A.
Yeah.
2 or more people in the car, you can ride in it, and there's never anybody in those lanes.
Yeah. Well, another thing, when the power turned off, because of the hurricane, they were limiting people to, I think, 2 or 3 per car. You had to have 2 or 3 people in your car if you wanted to drive into Manhattan.
Oh, really?
When the power was out, yeah.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, it was. No. My friend called me. She's like, hey, do you want to ride? I'm like, yes. And then 10 minutes before she's supposed to pick me up, oh, they only have 2 seats in the car. Sorry.
You know how crazy it is? Just think about how it must feel to put out that order, right? To be the guy that says, okay, if you want to come into my city, there's got to be at least 3 of you.
I mean, Bloomberg is famous for that. I mean, Bloomberg said, if you want to smoke in my city, well, you can. And he said, you want to drink 25-ounce sodas? F you. Okay?
Yeah, how is that? You guys you don't have a large soda. Isn't that what it is?
Yeah, they're getting rid of it or whatever. I think that's obnoxious because it's like, listen, we're free. We're human beings. Let us make our own decisions.
Yeah.
Nobody's making me buy the large. I'm just doing it. Maybe you could say instead of asking, just be like, do you want a medium-sized soda instead of asking me for a large? Maybe that'll make me not say yes. But don't take it away entirely or I'm going to buy a 2-liter thing of soda and gulp it down in front of your freaking house.
I remember when that first happened, and the reaction to it. Of course, everybody's, what is this guy thinking?
Yeah.
Of course, he's probably thinking to himself that he's doing something to help with the health, making the city healthier or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time,
it's like it's choice. Come on, like cigarettes, I understand because like that affects everybody, but soda, come on.
Not to mention that you could just go buy a 2-liter bottle, so why can't I get a large drink?
Yeah. Come on. Some of us like drinking soda. Or maybe I'm going to the beach and I want something big to carry with me. Whoa, I have to buy 3 of them? And and there's no price break for that? Yeah. Idiot.
Yeah, and you're already paying more money probably in all of those fast food establishments than the known world.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's out at the end of the year. Can't wait. He's rich, man. He's got rich people problems. He doesn't understand, That's it.
Yeah, rich people just don't understand.
They don't, It's like, hey, I don't have money this week. Oh, that sucks. I do.
Richers.
I'm gonna go spend some money. What are you gonna do? Look for a job, I guess. I'm gonna try to save up for a smart car. That's what I'm gonna do. Can you lend me $2,000? No. But you just said you had money. Yeah, I do. I'm gonna go. No, thank you. No car for you, buddy. Save. And that's what my wife told me to do. She's like, well, you're saving. I'm like, I know I am. I have nothing to sell. That's the problem. Nothing. I
know you are, but what am I? Well, if you needed some extra money, I have somebody you might could ask.
Who?
Your favorite singer-songwriter right now, I think. Taylor Swift.
Maybe I could get in line and sue her.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Now, I don't know if I really understand, but listeners, if you didn't see this, apparently she was invited to headline Ottawa's Capital Hoedown Music Festival last August, and they paid her $2.5 million. Now, Derek, apparently there's been some problems now, and anyway, they've canceled the event. Ticket holders had to give back refunds. But Taylor didn't have to give back a refund.
Huh.
Now, she didn't perform.
Right.
But she did get away with $2.5 million.
Did she have something in her contract that says if you book me and you cancel, it's on you, it's not on me?
I think what this is that maybe her contract said the money had to be up front. But they're not saying anything in this story about that being the case, where if they cancel, it's on her. It's not. I don't think it's her fault. It's not her fault that it was canceled. I don't think it's the organizer's fault either. It sounds to me like there are a bunch of problems, maybe weather, inclement weather, facility issues. I don't think it's the people involved with the event that are actually at fault here. So that's why they're suing her to try to get the $2.5 million back.
Oh. Well, I don't know. She's got it. I would be like, well, it's like, Taylor, if they paid you money, you didn't do anything, just give it back. Jesus.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's not like you're hurting.
I hope that she will. It seems from the way this story is being written that they're expecting to have issues getting it back. So.
Yeah. Well, it is Taylor Swift. Or maybe she'll date somebody in their party and then they'll break up.
Yeah. The ticket refunders had to give back $1.8 million worth of tickets for this event. That's a big event.
Well, they shouldn't have charged money. Why did they cancel it?
It literally just says, due to various problems, they were forced to cancel the event.
That's not specific, Nick.
Yeah, so
if you're going to tell me something, why don't you be specific next time, okay?
Well, I don't have any information other than that.
Well, Nick, maybe you should do a little bit more digging, huh? Be a reporter.
Well, you know, the thing is, it's Taylor Swift, you know.
I know.
I liked her never, but, well, you know, she's okay. She's hot.
Yeah, she's all right. No, I'm kidding. I'm in love with her. I am in love with her. I wish... I mean, the thing is, I'm in love with her until I think I would date her for probably 2 weeks and find out I don't like her at all. Probably less than that. I have the feeling that she would be really immature and I'd be like, and clingy when you're with her. And then when you don't want to spend every waking second with her, or she's that way because she's so business minded, she just kind of ignores you entirely. She's like, listen, I have to play on MTV tonight. I can't just go to dinner with you. Like, Taylor, come on, baby. Just want to get some fries. You can spend 5 minutes with me and some fries? Jesus. I mean,
come on, baby.
Come on. I love you. No, but she... I don't know. I just have the feeling she would be that way. And just kind of ignore you. And then when she wants to be hot and heavy, she'll be like, oh, hey, Derek, hey, what's going on? I just love you. God, I love being with you. I'd be like, listen, Nick's coming over tonight. We're going to play some PS3. So, sorry. But you.
She would freak.
Oh God!
Yeah. You're not going to get away with that one.
#1 hit single, baby. You left me for the PS3. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, or she would call you gay.
Yeah, that's true. I guess you were hiding something from me. You're a queer. You're a queer. Whoa, look at you here. You're a queer.
Did you happen to catch, we don't talk about TV a whole lot on this show, but as it's coming to an end, I'm starting to enjoy it again, for the first time in a while, actually, but The Office has been fantastic the past couple of episodes. Did you happen to catch it last week?
Why didn't he fire Andy?
I know.
God.
How weird is that?
Oh, he was like, I'm not going to fire you. I wouldn't have owned the company if it wasn't for you.
Yeah.
But...
See, now we're starting to get some little weird details about all these people that they're going to unveil for the end of the show, you know?
Yeah, and what the hell is Andy's problem hiring those people, ex-boyfriend? I want to punch him in the face.
I know.
I hate Andy. He is the worst character of that whole show.
Yeah, he really is bad, and that made it such. The episode was pretty funny, but when that happened, it was just weird. It was like, wow, this is very strange.
It was very awkward. It showed how petty he is. I hate him. I hate Andy. God, I wish he would die.
I'm glad you say that, because I definitely feel the same way. And now Jim and Pam are definitely breaking up, it looks like.
Well, I don't know what's going on with them. What the hell? She's like, well, I don't want to move to Philadelphia. He's like, well, I have a business here. So,
yeah, which she was okay with until now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that she's probably going to get it on with that microphone guy.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. And I hate that, because they have a kid, and I like Jim.
Yeah, they have 2 kids.
Oh, yeah, they have 2 kids. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's like when they're together, they have this spark, but it's the whole distance and all that. It's like, listen, I understand that you want to be a stupid office manager for a business that's probably going to go under. I think that's what's going to happen at the end. It's just all going to go down. They're going to close the business.
Well, did you see... well, I mean, when you have somebody, he won't fire the guy that just left for 3 months. I mean, that's... You know, but did you see the email that Oscar got at the end of it when he was hanging upside down that said in 10 years The Office, and it was the story of...
yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, because remember when Michael Scott left for the final time, he's like, hey, will you guys let me know when you guys are going to show this? I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, could you imagine them being together? Like, 10 years later, they're like watching this, and they're just kind of like, what? Pam, you said that?
Yeah.
You whore. No, or whatever.
Because a lot of them have said things off camera or to the cameras or whatever that, you know, the other people don't know.
Yeah. Oh, that would be... Yeah. I would love to see a follow-up to that.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure what direction they're going with it, but I am enjoying the episodes. I think the writing has gotten interesting again, so that's nice.
I still hate Andy. I think they're trying to just make Andy Michael Scott. You know, and did you saw that Michael Scott-like character?
Yeah, he was in Breaking Bad.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, he was Saul Goodman. Yeah, I love that guy. He's very funny.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny, and it was interesting to see because you notice he said, I like it when it's scripted.
Uh-huh.
Did you catch that?
No.
He was talking about Curb Your Enthusiasm. He said, pretty cool. He goes, Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm. You like that show? I think they indulge themselves a little bit too much. You know, they don't have a script. I like it when shows are scripted. And that's the opposite of Michael Scott.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
So I thought that was pretty interesting.
When she was excited to work for him. You know? Like, she was like, he's Michael Scott, yes! And then he was like, no, you're just essentially an assistant. But you're an office manager.
Yeah. You're going to manage all these people. That's why we call it the office manager. Yeah. That's
Too bad.
funny.
Too bad, so sad. But that's the thing. Pam doesn't want to do anything. That's the problem. She wants to just be... Oh, I just want to work a sales job the rest of it. It's like, come on. You got to understand what Jim is. He's trying to do something here. He's trying to do something good for their family. Because if it takes off, he could potentially be millionaire, you know, or potentially make hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
And his family will be well off. But she's like fighting that all you want. Like, I want to stay in Scranton. It's like, come on, opportunities, you know, because... Truth be told, maybe he doesn't want to be a sales guy like that the rest of his life, you know? Maybe she wants to do art. Maybe by him doing this, she's given the opportunity to do art, you know? Like, you got to look at it. I don't know.
Well, you know what amazes me is that she's all in, and it's great. You know, they gave her the mural or whatever for the city. Why doesn't she do that and then go be an artist in Philadelphia?
Yeah, because Philly's the city of art, man. I know that firsthand. There was a guy I used to hang out with, his name's Greg Morgan, and his girlfriend was a fantastic artist. Oh, my God. She was just like the way she drew things. She used to like go into people's bedrooms and like draw like a rainforest on all the walls and blend it into the window and all this stuff. And I mean, fantastic. She's very talented. And she's from Philly. Like, she does artwork down there all the time.
Huh. Yeah, Scranton, Ohio. I can't. It just doesn't make sense. I don't like that they're doing this because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense that she doesn't want to leave Scranton all of a sudden.
Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Or, I'm sorry, Pennsylvania. She don't want to leave Scranton, Pennsylvania all of a sudden because, I mean, why? Suddenly you're good friends with everybody. You hate that. She's hated that office the entire time she's worked for it, except for Michael Scott. And has wanted to leave ever since Jim left, and now all of a sudden, oh no, I love it here, and you suck, and I'm going to stay. I don't like. They have the best relationship. They're the best characters in the show, and they're going to make them get a divorce.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. Yeah, because the last week episode, remember when they went out to dinner with the camera guy, and he was like, "Me and my wife are done," and then they were like, "No, I want you to stay and fight." Okay, let's fight. Yeah. I mean. Yeah, well, what's going on there, man? I'm really confused. I'm confused because they just throwing it all in season 9. Like, there's no development. It's just happening.
Yeah. And, I mean, maybe they're doing that because they really just want to show average Americans, which is what the whole premise is, average Americans and their jobs.
Yeah.
But, it's just a little unrealistic because they've been such a strong relationship the entire time, and then all of a sudden, okay, so he's been gone for a couple of months, and Pam just says, screw it, I'm done.
Yeah, I know. It's like, is she not in love with him? And what's going on? Maybe she's having an affair with that camera, or the microphone guy. I don't know. Because remember, they have that 2-episode spurt where he like defends her, but then at the beginning of this another episode, he like hits her in the head with the microphone, like he's messing with her.
Yeah,
and then that's when you start to find out he's having problems with his wife. Because when they fire him, he's like, "Listen, if you need to talk to somebody, you call me."
Yeah,
I was like,
And then we haven't really seen him yet again either. Like they kind of went away from that story completely, and it was just it was like, I
know.
I'm enjoying the end of the show, but there's a lot more development they could be doing that they're not doing. That I hate to kind of see as it comes to an end. I'm going to be sad when it goes away, won't you?
Yeah, me too. I agree.
Yeah,
it will be depressing, sadly.
I wonder if they'll bring back Steve Carell for the last episode.
I don't know. I mean, because I remember reading an interview, and they were like, yeah, why? I mean, because he had his goodbye, and him and Holly. And why would they just show up? Hey, we're in Scranton, Pennsylvania. I mean, he has nothing there. Nothing. Except that place. And when you get a new job, like... It's like, when I left Guitar Center, I visited probably 3 times a week after I quit and went to, Apple. But then over time, you become close with the people that you work with, and then your visits drop to once a week, to twice a month, to once a month. And I haven't been there in 3 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and it's right there. It's like, it's not that far away from me. I'm in the station a lot. I just never stop by.
Well, life just gets going, and... that's what happens.
Yeah, it's true. Sad.
Well, Derek, we come again to our second break. We've started a new format here. We're doing 50-minute segments. We do that because we do pre-produce this thing, and it helps us get into a better flow when we're recording. So we hope you're enjoying that. Same amount of commercial time. It's just put into a different spot. So we've got one more segment coming up next. We're over halfway through with the show, and it's To the Echo Radio Show. I'm Nick O'Kelly. This is Derek Daisy. And like we've said before, you should follow us at To the Echo Radio. You can also check us out on Facebook.com/To the Echo Radio Show. And check out ReverbNation.com/Suburban Myth. Our first single, River of Life, came out on iTunes on Monday. The EP is Plastic Souls, and you'll be able to get the full thing March 18th. So we're going to take a break, and we will be right back. KineticHiFi.com, To the Echo Radio.
You're listening to KineticHiFi.com, baby.
To be pampered is to be treated with excessive care and attention, and that's just what you'll get at Shim Salon Spa. Named Salon of the Year by Modern Salon Magazine. With over 20 years of experience pampering and beautifying the Low Country, Laura and her team focus on the needs of each client. Shem Salam Spa is a full-service boutique offering the latest in color and artistic hair creations for women and men. You can enjoy a massage, pedicure, and manicure in the most innovative and most relaxing spa experience anywhere. Renew and reinvent yourself. Located at 506 Live Oak Drive in Mount Pleasant, behind Page's Okra Grill. Call Shem Salon Spa today at 843-606-2506 or visit the website at Shem, that's SHEM, salonspa.com. Call them today, 843-606-2506.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah, hey.
Hey, why is the computer so slow?
Internet connection?
It can't be the internet connection. We pay like $300 a month for that.
Holy chestnut.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, I know.
Yeah.
So it must be. Let's look around here for a second.
All right.
Yeah. You know what?
What?
Where's this wire go?
That wire?
That wire.
I don't know. It looks new.
It does kind of look new, but then there's like 18 wires down there. Let's try plugging it in over here. What do you say?
No, not there. No, right here.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Are you sure, Tom?
Positive. Plug it in.
All right, let's try that out.
Okay.
Don't be that guy. Instead, put your trust in ITSimplified.com. Cloud computing, data center servers, network management, Web 2.0, SQL, scalable architectures, programming, tech infrastructure, security, and anything else you shouldn't bother trying to figure out. Call 843-376-1991. That's 843-376-1991. ITSimplified.com. That's IT-simplified.com. Solutions simplified.
Did you know that dysfunctions of the nervous system are often leading causes of poor posture, disease, fatigue, and much more? Dr. Brett Kahn of Neurologic Integrative Health starts from the beginning, working with patients to get a good picture of their past, present, and future health before embarking on the road of lasting well-being. Dr. Kahn brings together all aspects of a person's health to determine the best way to get results in the shortest amount of time. If you are suffering from low back pain, neck pain, pinched nerves, maybe a recent auto injury, headaches, migraines, shoulder injuries, knee injuries, numbness, tingling, repetitive stress, give Dr. Brett Kahn a call at 843-400-4087, 843-400-4087, or visit neurologichealth.com. You can even drop by the office at 874 Whipple Road, Suite 200 in Mount Pleasant.
Do you love your HOA? Well, if the thought of your HOA doesn't bring a smile to your face, it's time to consider Community Management Group. A 5-time Alfred P. Sloan Foundation Award winner, Community Management Group is the only accredited association management company based in Charleston. Guided by strong core values, Community Management Group goes above and beyond the minimum requirements to deliver an unparalleled life-enhancing experience to more than 110 communities. Whether you're an irritated community member or overburdened HOA volunteer, it's time you stopped living for your neighborhood and started enjoying a true sense of community. You can love your HOA. Contact Community Management Group today by calling 843-795-8484. That's 843-795-8484. Or simply visit cmgcharleston.com. That's cmgcharleston.com. Community Management Group. Building community. Do you like chocolate milk? Well, if you like sweet but nutritious, you found the right place. KineticHiFi.com.
Welcome back into the Echo Radio Show. I'm Derek Daisy. With me is Nick O'Kelly.
Woo!
And we're on our third segment here. Doing our thing. So just be ready here to put up with us. So,
just be ready.
Yeah,
You never know what's going to happen on this show.
Yes. A little bit later, we'll be talking about the new PlayStation, or what Sony has unveiled on Wednesday. In case you haven't heard, we'll talk a little bit about that in a bit. But yeah, so we're back. I actually have some really interesting news.
Ooh.
Yes, concerning Suburban Myth. Even this is something you don't know, Nick.
Uh-oh.
So I thought I'd let you know.
Uh-oh.
Suburban Myth is number one on all the charts all around the world. Every genre, everything. So buy it.
I knew it all along.
Yes. But realistically, no.
Well, darn.
GetReadyToRock.com. They received our EP, and they're going to be playing it on the radio on Sunday, February 24th, from 10 to 11 o'clock, and then Tuesday, the 26th of February, from 4 to 5 o'clock. GetReadyToRock.com.
Is that a radio station or what?
It's called GetReadyToRock.com. Check it out. And they will have. They'll also be reviewing the EP, and so this will be the first time you get to hear the entire EP fully, almost a full month before it comes out. So you can decide if you're ever going to buy it, or if you're just going to give us the middle finger and do nothing. I would appreciate if you did the first thing, gave us your money. In fact, buy 2 or 3 just for good luck. Because obviously, as we've talked about, I want a smart car. Nick wants to have his sex change operation. And,
or something.
Yeah. But more than likely a sex change operation. That's something he wants to do.
Thanks, Derek.
I'm just saying. It's okay. It's all right, Nick. It's okay to not feel comfortable in your skin and feel like you've been trapped in a man's body your entire life. I understand that. And you even got married to be closer to a woman, and then you realized that you needed to be a woman to understand. So, that's cool.
I just realized that I need to be a woman.
Yes. You just need to grow a pair of breasts and just let it out, and take some hormones.
Just let it all grow out.
Get a tuck and tag and, whatever it is that they do. Do some whatever. You know what? Good for you, Nick.
Whatever
I'm proud
it is those people do. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, goodness. So, they're going to be playing it on February 24th. That reminds me, the 25th, we're going to be going on the Variety Triangle Comedy Show.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, we are.
Isn't that on the 25th?
Yes. Did you confirm that?
Yeah, that's the email that I forwarded to you was the confirmation.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep.
Just making sure. Didn't want to be like they were waiting for me to confirm, because I totally did not.
No. That thing that he sent me was the confirmation.
Oh, okay. All right. Because I'll totally be calling in it's a variety show. We'll be talking about some Suburban Myth. Be making up a lot of answers and stuff. Doing what we normally do. Just do a bunch of lying. Yeah, we've been touring the world. Just got done touring Africa. As you know, we're the #1 advocate of World's AIDS Foundation. We were the ones who implemented Product Red, or Red in all the companies, where you donate money towards AIDS. Things like that. So, yeah, get ready. Be excited.
So we have on with us today Suburban Myth. Yeah, I just finished recording our first platinum album. In fact, it went platinum today, about 5 minutes after we recorded it.
Yes. We put it on Amazon for pre-order, and 1 million people just thought, why not? And they bought it, and that's how great our fans are. So thank you.
Yeah. Because we really, let me tell you, man, we really wouldn't be here without the fans. I mean, they really make the band.
Although, like us, somebody's like... So, bang, bang. They know what that means. All right.
I can just imagine her behind the music now,
Yeah. Just be like, listen, yeah, did a lot of coke. did a lot of things I'm not proud of. Yeah, don't remember a lot of it.
That's a direct quote.
Yeah. But because I'm me, I would totally do that. I would just watch it and rehash all those lines. Yeah, so we got there and a 30-piece orchestra came in and I turned to Nick and I'm like, dude, there's no way back, man. No way back to the garage.
There's no way back, man.
No way back to the garage. We got this.
We're just kicking ass and taking names.
That's it. And I love doing that. So much fun.
Yeah, especially the name taking. That's really what I'm good at.
Yes, absolutely. The thing is, Nick, you and I actually got to start recording some new songs for this album that will, that we're preparing for later this year.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Yeah. And honestly, I think next week we should start that together, start developing some of these songs. Because Nick and I stopped calling each other during the week to have our best friend conversations because I think we save it for the show.
Yeah, we do. That's why you guys get to hear us ramble so much, because this is our weekly talk here.
That's right. Exactly. So that is what it is. Yeah, so just thought I should let you know.
We'll have to develop, maybe we could do pieces of the developmental stages on the show here. Just kind of give people a little insight into how it works.
Yeah, we totally could. Yeah, be like, all right, here's a quick peek of Nick in the bathroom. He's not in the studio, but that's what he does. And you'd be like, hey, get out of here, Randy, because I have to have him do it. I don't live anywhere near him. God, dude, sometimes I think you're so gay.
Secretly, he knows that it's all you.
Yeah, right. But he doesn't give up my tell. No, never. Just play it onto the Echo Radio Show every day.
We're going to have to find ourselves some digs here one day for this To the Echo Radio Show.
Yes, I agree. One day. So what was the... why'd you get home so early today?
Well, I went into work early this morning.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
You should totally do that every time we're going to do the show. Then we get it done.
I do try to do that. Unfortunately, see, here's what happens. Okay, this is what happens. You'll go in early with the anticipation of leaving early, but then there will be a meeting to come up, or a meeting will run long, or somebody will need you, or whatever, and I'll end up not getting out early, and then I get upset. So, so I generally, that's why I go in, the time I normally do. But I have to tell you, I like getting off early. It's nice. It's nice to be able to get out of work when it's still mostly daytime and be able to come home and enjoy my day a little bit.
Yes, I imagine that's what it's like with your girlfriend. You really like to get off early and get out of there. Because you know what? Why else is she there?
Yes.
See, we do pre-record this, and we pre-recorded a couple days early because of our work schedule. Right now, I'm watching the live video, and it was just announced PlayStation 4. They just said PS4. That's what I saw.
That's what we've been waiting on.
Yeah. So we'll be talking about it as I find out more. Obviously, by the time you hear this, you'll know all of this, and I'm going to be really excited. There's this guy talking, though. He has the weirdest voice. He looks like he's going to have a much more macho voice than this, but he's just like, so we've been playing with the PlayStation 4 for a long time, but he looks like he should... He looks like he should sound like, so today we've been working with the PS4 for a long time, and let's show you what this looks like. Mark Kearney. And then it's showing some stuff. I don't know. This is actually all taking place in New York City.
Well, why aren't you there?
Because I'm doing a show with you.
Now, do you ever have events like that come up that you know about and are able to go to if you wanted?
I usually find out about it way later, after that's available.
Well, I just mean, it seems like there's a lot of events like that in New York City, and there's always a lot of people there. This release, for example, could you have gone to that release if you had wanted to?
Probably not, unless I somehow showed that we had press passes for us. But I've actually walked by the PlayStation store, the Sony store down there. It's near Fifth Avenue, actually. It's near where I work. So I've seen it, and they've got all kinds of stuff in there, the PlayStations and all that. Mm-hmm. Right now they're talking about cartridges, DVDs, and CDs. I'm just like, oh, come on, just shut up and just show me the specs. Show me everything so I can say it. Because they're probably going to be like, we don't believe in CDs, we don't believe in DVDs, and we don't believe in cartridges. We are PlayStation 4.
So what are they not going to have? You're going to download everything now? Is that what it is?
I don't know. Right now they're still talking about PS3.
Yeah.
They're just like, PS3. Now you guys might know a little bit about it, because we've kept it roughly. It's been about half the price that it was when it first came out at $600. So sorry about that. What do you think, Nick? What do you think is the big deal? I think this is something we should talk about while it's happening, because it just sounds surprising. What do you think is going to be the big thing in the new systems, both Xbox and PS?
I have to be honest, I really don't know. Because, again, I have to say, the PS3's only been out for 2.5 years,
No, it's been out since 2006.
Really? 2006? Yeah. Oh, you know what it is?
What?
It's that I waited until I could afford to buy it. So okay. I've only had it for 3 years. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I guess maybe 6 years is a good enough amount of time. I could see it becoming an all-downloaded platform so that you don't have a physical game anymore. I could see that. But see, Blu-ray is as good as it gets as far as we know right now. So I don't know what kind of improvements they can make to it other than... Well, go ahead.
Well, I mean, with the disc thing, remember, Sony makes Blu-ray. That is their technology. And I feel like they'd be shooting themselves in the foot to keep that out of the system. Because...
Well, I meant games.
Oh, yeah. Well, games, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but even games, like... You still got to have a physical medium. I mean, because people still... Not everybody's connected to broadband,
Yeah, that's
There's
true.
actually a large percentage that aren't. And plus, some of the people that do have broadband are capped. A lot of people don't realize, but most of the time when you're connected to, like, Verizon or whatever, they actually cap you at, like, 250 gigs of downloading.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's actually limits there, and they're trying to tighten those up. And these games, like, I downloaded... what was it? Assassin's Creed 3? That was 11 gigs.
Oh, wow. Really?
That's a pretty big game. Yeah. 11 gigs to download. Now, that's nothing the size of a Blu-ray. Blu-rays can hold up to 52 gigs. And they did that so they can make these bigger games and take advantage of these cores. But unfortunately, there's just nothing... I don't know. Just nothing is taking advantage of it. That's why I feel like... I know they're announcing it and everybody's excited about it, but why didn't they just put more time into these better games on the PlayStation 3? I mean, it still had room to move. Like, maybe not graphically, but you could still do stuff on it.
Yeah. I really feel a little cheated with the game market on the PS3. I don't think they came through like they have with the other systems.
Sure.
But it's like you said, everything's a sequel now.
Yeah.
They make their money no matter what. Why should they be inventive? You know what I mean? As far as they're concerned.
Yeah.
Everybody's buying Call of Duty. What do you think's going to be new about it? I mean, I very seriously, other than the way the platform is set up when you're accessing things... Oh, you know what? Maybe they've improved the web browser. One thing that I don't like is that the PS3 has a web browser, but it's not really a web browser. I mean, you can go to YouTube and you can type www. whatever and it'll take you there, but it's pretty crappy.
Well,
I'd be happy if they improved that.
Stuff.
Yeah.
That's all software. Like, it's a computer. Like, a PlayStation 3 is a computer. Like, they could have totally fixed that. In fact,
I know.
they fixed the PlayStation Store. The PlayStation Store, which was terrible before, they've made it a lot better now, where you can actually view videos on demand versus having to download a stupid video to watch it. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Download it to your device.
Hopefully they'll get things like HBO Go, because Xbox started getting a lot of those applications, and now PS3 has the Netflix application, which is nice, but that's the only movie service they have. They don't have HBO Go, and they also don't have Hulu. You can get the Hulu application on Xbox as well. So.
You know, right now he just announced the DualShock 4, which was actually what we saw in the pictures online over the last few days. The one with the, he's walking around with it right now. It's exactly what it is.
So it's a 6-axis. You can move it around and manipulate the person by moving the actual controller.
It has a touchpad in the middle. Mm-hmm. It has a share button on the back. It has a light pad, a light bar. It allows you to be identified in the screen, like who's the different player.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
And then there's a camera that can sense it. Okay, because they haven't actually talked about the system yet. Like, they've talked about the developmental system, but I haven't actually seen the PlayStation yet. It's just the thing. But they did say that the developmental kits had like 8 gigs of RAM, had a computer graphics and all that. Right now I'm looking at a main video of these explosions, and that looks pretty good.
Does it?
Oh. This looks like a CG video. Like, you know, those really high-end CG videos, and he says it's all real-time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it actually looks pretty good.
Huh. Is that what are they showing? Is it a game or a movie?
It's a game. It's a game video, yeah. By Epic Games. Actually, no, it's the Unreal 4 engine.
Oh.
Yeah. Dang. It's like, I wish I didn't have to talk like at their speed. Sorry. This becomes
No, it's okay. I mean, I think this is pretty interesting stuff. I guess the question is, are you going to get one?
Probably, but it'll depend what games. Because, you know, I've never been I got to get this system right now. I mean, I did with the Xbox, the original. Mm-hmm. I got that on day one. It took me about a year to get the Xbox 360. You know, because I just wasn't... There was a couple cool games, like King Kong was pretty cool. As far as graphics go. But, there was nothing big back then. Or we played Call of Duty. That was fun.
I am a big PlayStation fan.
Yeah.
I really like all of my PlayStations. I had a hard time getting rid of it. Well, I haven't gotten rid of any of them. I have all of them, but I had a hard time moving on to every system. When I got my PS2, I mean, it was just like, am I going to like it? It's good. Of course, I loved it. But then with the PS3, I was like, I don't know. But then I loved it. But I did. I waited longer for the PS3 than any other system I've bought.
Well, you were broke. You were in college.
Well, yeah, and my PS2 also worked great. So
then your parents were never going to buy you a system. Let's just be smart about this. They just didn't love you enough. No, it wasn't that. No, it's not that. But right now they're showing a video. Wow, it's pretty good looking.
But is it better? I mean, again, the PS3 has Blu-ray. So it's as good as the graphics are as good as they are.
Well, yeah, but no, graphics on this, there's better graphics, obviously. Now, obviously, it's not real life graphic. It's just details. It can go even deeper. They were showing particle demos of like particles falling and how, you know, the old machine couldn't handle that many particles, and now the new one can. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, you got more RAM, 8 gigs of RAM and stuff like that, and having a different graphics card. Because what really messed up the PlayStation 3 was they invented their own core card, you know, and that cost way more money to manufacture on their own, and it wasn't as compatible as they hoped it would be with some things. That's why Skyrim is just now getting all the expansion packs. But
Yeah, and that they lost a lot of money with the PS3, and I hope that they've figured it out now. That's why it was so expensive, because every unit they sold when it first came out, they were losing money.
they were losing $300. They were $900 systems. Truthfully. But that's the thing. They were trying to put too much into it. And see, Microsoft lost a little bit of money, but not that much. It's all about being smart from the beginning, because now PS3 has pulled ahead. It is the most owned system in the world, over 360 and Wii. It took a while to get there, but finally.
Well, and for the longest time, it was the cheapest Blu-ray player on the market.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because Blu-ray players were like $200. It was like, why would I do that? I'll just buy a PS3.
Exactly.
Which was why I bought it. And now Blu-ray players are what? $50? They're not that much anymore.
Yeah, they're really not.
Yeah. And so that's technology for you. Get
Do
enough
you-
people to buy
Do
it.
you remember the DVD players that came out during the time of Blu-ray that were HD DVD players?
Oh, HD DVD, yeah.
Yeah, which were just nothing.
Yeah, they were a little bit better. And they completely lost that war. And it's funny because, what was it? Xbox got behind that, and PlayStation 3 got behind Blu-ray. Blu-ray 1.
Yeah. Which I remember that being the big controversy. Everybody was saying, okay, if Blu-ray doesn't make it, it's all downhill for PlayStation. That they've got all their eggs in one basket there, but they knew. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's clearly better.
Blu-ray was way better. And they're probably going to still put the games on Blu-ray discs. It would make sense. We're still waiting to hear about that, because they're talking about this controller. It looks so empty, because on the past Sony controllers, they have Sony in the middle. Now there's just a pad in the middle, like a little touch pad, not a screen, but like a feeling pad. Yeah, you'll see. Obviously you'll probably watch this after this. But they have extra chips in there. He's talking about how cool it is. I don't know.
Well, what's the feel pad? Does that take place of the joysticks or what?
No, there's still joysticks. Everything looks exactly the same, except there's a pad in the middle that I guess is for a more specific touch. And then there's a light on the back so that the camera for your PlayStation can see it. Kind of like the Move kind of deal.
Ah.
Yeah. What would really make me mad if they were like, all right, and that's why we're going to be doing PlayStation Live for $59.99. You can play games with your friend. Now, can you imagine if that happened? That's
They
like the
better
one
not
thing.
do that.
That's the one thing PlayStation has on Xbox, is that you don't have to pay for it. It's like, yeah, it's not as loud, but who cares?
Yeah.
F them.
As far as I'm concerned, that's one of the biggest things that makes them better than Xbox.
Yeah.
Because every few months, all of my friends with Xbox have to go run by an Xbox Live card, or every couple weeks or whatever it is. I've never paid for my gameplay online with PlayStation, and if they go to that, I'm really going to be upset.
Yeah, well, but it is a big cash cow, because so many people, it's like you can't even watch Netflix on your Xbox without having Xbox Live.
Yeah, exactly.
That's ridiculous. Come on, I'm already paying $8 a month.
Yeah,
Suck it.
See, that's the thing. I already spent a ton of money on this system. If I want to watch Netflix, I can go watch it on my computer for free. I don't have to pay to watch it on the PlayStation. So, it's definitely a cash cow, but for them to go from not charging to charging, I don't think makes a whole lot of business sense.
Yeah, really doesn't.
Because everybody would be upset. Of course they'd have no choice, so people would buy it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they would buy it, but I wouldn't rush to buy it. I'd be like, oh, I got to pay to play online. Yeah, I think I'm going to ride this PS3 wave as long as it's going to go.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they wouldn't get my money in the beginning, because I'd be like, if I got to pay for a membership, then I'm not paying for that money for the console. I'll wait till the console drops to $300.
Especially since my PS3, I use it more as a watching device. I mean, I watch Netflix on it exclusively almost. I mean, obviously Blu-rays as well. I do that kind of a thing on there a lot more than I play games.
Yeah. How do you think, because I don't think they're going to announce price today, but how much do you think they're going to price the new PS3 at?
I'm seeing $600. I mean, the thing is, it seems like these new systems anymore, we're not talking about cartridge systems now. We're not talking about a Nintendo. You know, there is a lot of technology going into this thing, and they are, for all intents and purposes, a computer. And you have to think about how much a computer costs. It's a couple $100, right? So with all this new technology and stuff that they are probably spending to put into it, I don't know. I don't see it coming down from...
I think it's going to be at 400, 400 or 500. Like, I think it's going to start at 4. My reason for believing that is because it took a long time for PlayStation to catch up. And I think this time around, they decided to, not get into the flash of everything. Because remember... Yeah, it looked cool in the beginning, but they've gotten rid of all the special things of the PlayStation 3, from the beginning. Like, they don't have the self-retractable disc, you just put it in, like the old one. And, and they got rid of all the extra USB things. Like, they found out what people need. They just didn't do enough market research. They just kind of just built it and just hoped, and then found out that you didn't need all that stuff. Plus, they put the PlayStation 2 innards in the first ones, and it didn't work that well, and they became a big problem.
Well, and also, at the time, I think Microsoft was a serious threat as far as the Xbox 360 went. And they were really trying to flash it up,
Yeah.
And they did.
Xbox had a year ahead of PlayStation to come out, too. And the Wii was a completely different competitor. Like, nobody foresaw the Wii doing as well as it did. But then when it started doing bad, it did bad.
Yeah, it's doing really... I mean, now it's just... Forget it.
I know. It's like, I wouldn't even keep my focus on them as the competition. It's like, it's really...
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say PS3 and Xbox are really the competitors here.
Yeah, and because Xbox had a year on them, they were really trying to do everything they could to make it seem a lot better, and they probably went a little overkill in a lot of areas on the PS3. Yeah. Now what you have to wonder is is Microsoft going to have the same kind of reaction now that the PS4 is coming out first?
Right. Well, they don't have enough time to change anything. That's like they can only do micro changes because they've already sent out their developer kits. People are already making games for the system. So they can't change that much. So really, I think PlayStation's going to hold off on telling the price, and they're going to wait until Xbox comes out and then decide. Because what's the worst that could happen? I mean, if PlayStation's like, we're going to sell our system for $400, then PS3's like, great. But if they're like, $200, then you gotta be careful.
Is Xbox supposed to come out soon?
Well, they're going to announce it, I think, at E3. Yeah, so they're both going to come out at about Christmas time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I don't need to worry about buying anything till next year anyway. No,
the end of the year maybe. But honestly, Nick, you should be focused more on making hit records, okay?
Yeah. Well, that's just it. We talk about this, and we know so much about it, but yet I really don't spend a lot of time on the system at all.
I don't when I got stuff to do, and a lot of the times I do have things to do, like music and all that, and I really should be, like, that's why I say to you, we really need to focus, probably get started next week and really work on some new songs together, and, because it's like I have these skeletons of these songs written, but it'll give us something to really work on, put ourselves towards, and then we'll have things to show, and maybe we could start including that in our website when that goes live in March.
Yeah, that'd be great. It's nice to be able to update your fans with your progress as a band. That's something nice
like,
to be able to show.
Yep, just have you with your headphones on. You're like, hey, I'm in my bedroom, just going to play some bass. All right.
Glad you guys could join me here on this web chat. Going to be taking some phone calls and some questions.
Yeah, they're talking about PlayStation Network and how it's the fastest network.
Ooh.
I don't care.
Yeah, I mean the fastest network. That's just the big terminology these days. The fastest network.
We're the fastest. How? Well, works fast.
Yeah.
How do you know you're the fastest?
Verizon, T-Mobile, Comcast, Time Warner, all these people have the fastest networks.
I know. That's why I don't know who to buy from. I mean, T-Mobile sucked. And
That's so funny.
Verizon's okay. I mean, I like Verizon. I use Verizon, but and it's like, I work with phones all the time with people, so it's like I get to see what people think of each phone company, and they all got their pros and cons.
Yeah. I think I'll be going with an iPhone next, though. I do like my Droid. I do a lot. But now that I have a Mac, I really need an iPhone.
Yeah.
It's just so funny how interrelated all of the gadgets are for Apple. When is Apple going to come out with a game system?
They don't have to. They're dominating and without even meaning to. Like, it's funny, when the original App Store came out, or there was actually going to be an App Store, Steve Jobs didn't want to give that kind of control to people. He was like, no, we're going to do everything. And then somebody's like, no, Steve, make an App Store. There's a lot of promise here. And he finally relented, and then it happened. And then look at it. Billions of dollars.
Now, explain to me what you mean by that, that he didn't want to give the people the control. Do you mean the ability...
Apple is a completely controlled, from hardware to software. Like, they want control of everything. By opening up development to outside people, that means they could build whatever they want for their device. And he didn't want to do that. I mean, then that's games, and stuff like that.
So the App Store allows other people to build apps for the company, is what you're saying.
They didn't want to let other companies do it.
Yeah.
But eventually he did, and it ended up being great. And, and now, I mean, you just got to think of all the businesses that were started because of Apple products, like...
Oh, yeah.
Like the case makers for the phones, or... The
iHome.
iHome, yeah. The speakers, yeah. The cameras that you put on the iPod or iPhone and take better pictures. There's just so many things. There's also the baby monitoring camera that people secretly use to put in spaces so they can see women get undressed. I mean, there's just so many great usages. So, yeah, I just thought that was pretty neat. But yeah, I mean, but when you get one, you do have to have another one, and that's the truth.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And, it would do Sony and Microsoft some good to figure that out with their game systems. Maybe they could figure out a way to make these games really portable, not like the PSP, but I always wanted to have a portable system. Like when the PSP came out, I was thinking you could save your game on the PlayStation and then stick your memory card in the PSP and keep playing it on the road. That's what I wanted.
Well, you can on the old games, like PlayStation 1. Like, I do that. I play Final Fantasy VIII at home, and then I load up the memory card to my PSP and take it on the go and keep beating it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. But that's only on certain games, because you don't play all your PSP games on your PlayStation 3. You can't, Doesn't let you.
Yeah, and they haven't done anything like that since. It would be nice to be able to take your game on the go with the PS3, if you wanted to. If you're going on a trip or something, you don't want to take the PS3 with you.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if you look at the PS3, it's still pretty big as a system, which means they just can't miniaturize the components that they use to build it. So it's just not something that's going to happen.
Have they shown the PS4 yet?
No, they're talking about remote play where you can kind of control things with your smartphones and all that on the PlayStation 4.
I'm interested to see how big it's going to be.
Yeah, me too. Watch it be like they just bring like a room, like a supercomputer box, and they just at 6,347 pounds. The new PlayStation 4 is the ultimate computer.
Because, one thing that I loved about the PS2 was the fact that you could stand it up, and it made it smaller.
Well, you can do that with the PlayStation 3. You can stand it up. But it's still small. See, they keep showing the same game which is cool looking. Oh, okay. They're actually... Wow, okay.
What? What is it?
They're showing a person on the PlayStation Vita playing the PlayStation 4 game on the Vita wirelessly from the system.
Oh, wow. Now that's cool.
Yeah. It's almost what you just said. That's kind of cool that we're learning this real time.
if that's what I meant. If you can, like, upload, or if you could somehow share your games wirelessly so that you don't have to take a disc or anything from one system to the other, but you could just play the game wirelessly, that would be fantastic.
Well, they did buy a streaming company, and I think we're looking to hear about that, because, you know, there's rumors that it wouldn't be able to play PlayStation 3 games, and so the way to get around that was to buy this streaming company where you buy the games in the cloud, and then you just play it through broadband. Which should be interesting, but I don't want to have to buy my games again, you know? That's why I feel like... That's why I got the PlayStation 3 again. I was like, you know what? Because if I ever do get the PS4, whenever it comes out, it's like I want to be able to play all my old games, and, you know, who cares? It's like, if I can't do it on the future system, then I'm not going to, you know, freak out about it. I'm going to just stay smart, keep this system.
Yeah, it really sucks that it's not backwards compatible, and that's another thing that doesn't make any business sense to me. Why would you not want to make it backwards compatible?
Because then they can keep selling their old systems, PlayStation 3, for old games that are only exclusive to that system. It makes perfect business sense on that. I mean, but it gives your system less value when you go out to buy it.
It's less value, and not only that, they could keep making money off of all those old games if they made it backwards compatible.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason to have to take everything off the market if people are still buying it, you know?
Well, like Sony says, when they make a system, they always give it a 10-year life cycle, which is true. I mean, you know, PlayStation 1 was out for about 10 years before they stopped making games for it. PlayStation 2... same thing. They only just recently stopped making the PlayStation 2. PS3, you know, this is the first time where major generations didn't, you know, start over after 5 years. They actually waited a couple years. And while it looks good in these systems, I'm curious to see how much they actually take advantage of it, because I still don't feel like they took full advantage of the previous system. Not a lot of games did. So it's kind of like, all right, if I get this better be a system I have for 10 years. Like, I don't want to buy another one for 10 years because, like, they haven't done anything new to really wow. Like, yeah, the particle system's cool, but that's trivial. Like, you know, we're talking about real stuff. And I keep talking about networking. I don't care about your stupid network. Show me the PlayStation 3. Show me what it can do. And shut up. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I would say. This is really going to have to wow me before I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
Because, again, I like my PS3, and I don't play that many games, so unless there's something really just tangibly different that I'm going to want, I don't see myself going out and buying this system for a while. And that's why I'm a little behind the times, because I bought it in 2009 is when I got my PS3, so, you know, I haven't really gotten over it yet.
Yeah. I really hope you get Madden 2014 whenever that comes out, you jerk.
Yeah, I'll have to do that this year so we can actually play together.
Yeah. Jerk.
I'll get good so next year's Super Bowl game I won't lose so badly.
Yeah. Because I'll tell you, man, that was annoying. You lost bad. I was like, geez, man, what is that? But do you have any cool things going on with your other shows?
Well, actually, we are going out this evening, right after we do this show here in just a couple of minutes. Drew and I are heading over, the guys from the Bleachers, to the soccer tournament over on Daniel Island. There is the Carolina Challenge going on. This is our 21st season of our Charleston Battery. It's our minor league soccer team here. 21 seasons. I think that's pretty wild. I didn't realize they had been around that long. I've never been in a market, I've said this on that show a couple times, where I had access to a real professional soccer team until I moved here. And so I've after being here, I've never actually gone out, but we managed to make contact with the front office of the soccer team, and the president came on our sports show from the bleachers on Sunday nights 8 to 10 right here on Kinetic Hi-Fi. And we also had the captain of the Battery team in last Sunday night. So we've gotten to be pretty good friends with the team, and they've invited us out to some games, and we're actually going out again tonight. We saw them last Saturday play the Vancouver Whitecaps. Tonight they play the Chicago Fire. So we're pretty excited to go see that game starting up at 7:30 here tonight. So
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Do you, is there ever girls at those things?
There are.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a family outing. I definitely would like to see a few more. But, yeah, they've got them out there.
Well, Nick, you can always implement yourself into somebody's family and just take over. just get the guy out. He's like, dude, thanks for building this for me. And, you know, it's your problem, man.
You know, I tell you, they average about 3,000 people at these games.
How many can it seat?
A little over 5,000.
Okay, so about 60% on average. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So if Suburban Myth wanted to play a big show there, do you think we could pull that off?
I've been thinking about that myself, Derek. Yes, I have.
I mean, I don't want to play it if we can only fill it with 10 people. I mean, that'll be embarrassing.
No, I think we could probably pack it out. There's a big... The thing is, Daniel Island is its own community. And those of you that are in the Charleston area will know this, but it's its own town. I mean, it's very enclosed, has a big community. They're all very supportive. The tennis stadium is there, too. So they bring out pretty good crowds. And I would imagine if there was a big event like that there, they would... The tennis stadium is where they hold a lot of outdoor concerts. Hootie and the Blowfish has their reunion concert there every single year. Collective Soul played there last year. We saw Sister Hazel play with Hootie there. And those shows are always packed out.
Well, I mean, there's a big bands, though.
Well, yeah, but still, I mean, you're talking about... You know, well, yeah, you're right, but still. That's a
like
big stadium.
Myth,
so.
As much as I'd love to toot our own horn, we're really nobody in the virtually.
Well, pretty much not.
Just because we have our own internet radio show doesn't make us super famous, buddy.
Nah, but we could. I'm sure we could get some support. So I've given that some thought. Yeah,
I certainly hope so.
But it was a lot of fun. So we're looking forward to going back out there tonight.
Oh, good. Now, is there good food?
Yes, there is good food. They had the game last Saturday. They had catered by Queen Anne's Revenge, which is a seafood restaurant that's owned by the owner of the stadium itself, and it's one of the best places to eat here in Charleston. It's excellent food. Which it's a seafood restaurant, but they had it's pirate themed, is what it is. But for the catering, they had pulled pork and grilled chicken and macaroni. Oh, man, this was some of the best macaroni I've ever eaten.
That's ridiculous.
It was so good.
Gosh.
So good. Cookies and brownies and bread and nachos and cheese sauce and wings.
That is awesome. God, you're making me so hungry.
I know. I haven't eaten it all today.
I know. That is balls. Okay. Jeez.
So you have to get down to Charleston sometime, and we'll go see a soccer game.
Well, Nick, maybe if you put down my down payment for my smart car, I'll drive down there.
Now, how long would it take you to get down here in a smart car?
Smart car? I could drive the normal speed limit, you moron. It just takes a little longer to, speed up, Like, so I'm going to be cutting people off and risking people's lives. But that's okay. I'm not worried about that.
Well, you could get down here. How many miles is it to here? Do we know? How many miles is it from New York?
I knew it was like an 11-hour drive. So...
Okay.
We could totally do it.
Yeah, we could do that. You could do that.
Yeah.
11-hour drive. How much did it cost you in gas to drive down here? Do you remember the ballpark?
If I'm doing 38 miles per gallon, divided by 65 average, so I probably fill my tank a couple times. But I have a smaller tank, 8.7 gallons.
That's how many it holds?
Yeah. So I'd be stopping a couple more times. But you know what? That might be better for me, health-wise, because I'm the kind of jackass that'll just drive and I will not stop if I can help it. Because I've taught my bladder to hold its urine a lot longer. As long as I pack my food, I'll eat while I'm driving, risk my life and everybody else's. Don't care. Not my problem. Just going to eat that sandwich. Going to have a good time. But now this way I can pull over, get gas, eat fast food, and I have an excuse. I'd be like, well, hon, what was I supposed to do? Pack your lunch. Why do I got to pack my lunch? I'm already going to be there. I mean, I might as well stop and get some fast food, too.
You know, my Volvo had an 18-gallon gas tank.
That's a lot of gas, Nick.
Yeah, and that was one of the things I hated about that car, because it would be so expensive. I mean, to fill up that tank would cost $65, $70.
I think it would cost more. I had a 10-gallon tank on my. Wait a minute. Wait, how much was mine? How many gallons was in my Camry? It cost me $70 to fill it up, and I think that was at $350.
I was going to say, your Camry probably had 16-gallon, 18-gallon tank.
Yeah, you're right.
Too.
You're right. Yeah. Because I drove...
go ahead.
Oh, no, I mean, I drove a Fiesta. It had 10 gallons, but I got to Delaware and back. So it got just as far as my Camry with less the gas.
That's why those cars have bigger tanks, because they don't get as good a gas mileage.
Yeah. Oh, now I feel stupid.
Yeah. My Scion has a 12-gallon tank, but it gets great gas mileage, so I'm very happy with that.
I don't understand why you didn't get a Smart, Nick. You work at a Mercedes factory. Come on, they give you a deal, don't they?
No, and it's not functional. It wouldn't be functional for me.
Why not?
Because I'm always the guy that drives. I don't like other people driving me around, so I'm always the one that drives. So every once in a while, there's more than one other person riding with me. Not to mention that I like to carry stuff in my car. So,
Nick, you can carry stuff in your car, just not as much stuff. How much stuff are you carrying?
Not as much as I get on my Scion.
Yeah. How much stuff do you put in your Scion, Nick? Stop talking like you have a life. You don't.
Well, see, that's the problem. I just don't ever clean the car out.
Yeah. Well, clean it out.
In fact, right now there's a vacuum cleaner in it.
Why? You don't need that stuff in your car.
Because I took it up to the radio station because they needed it, and I brought it back home. I haven't taken it out of the car yet.
Nick. See, you could fit a vacuum cleaner in a smart car, just so you know.
Yeah, by itself, probably.
No. You can put it on top of things, you idiot. God, you want to fight me on this? Nick, it doesn't make sense. You're spending all this extra money on something you can't afford when you could just as easily have a smart car, lease it from your company, and then after 3 years say goodbye to it and get another one.
No, that's okay. I want to own my vehicle at the end of the day.
Yeah,
so.
But that's the thing, Nick. When I'm 32, I don't know if I'm going to want a smart car. That's why I'm leasing it.
Well, that's why I didn't buy a smart car.
Well, that's why you lease the smart car, you moron. And insurance down there is a lot cheaper. So you end up spending less than $200 a month on insurance and your car.
I'm having a hard time following your logic here.
How much do you spend on your car? Or did you buy it outright?
No, I make payments.
How much?
Well, I mean, I don't want to give out a bunch of personal information here, but
give me some ballpark numbers, Nick.
I'll say that the range is $150 to $250 a month.
That is way too big. All right, is it 200, Nick?
It's pretty close to that, yes.
Yeah, okay. $200 for the car plus insurance. The smart car is actually cheaper to insure, and it's $100 less. So, can you explain to me, Nick, how this is economical?
See, this is what Derek does here. He wants something so badly, so he wants me to want it too.
Yes,
I'm with you. I'd actually really like to have one. I considered getting one at one point. I considered getting the all-electric version because they had mentioned that they would put up charge ports at work if we leased it.
Nick,
I got a car now, so I'm good.
Had I had moved down there to work with you, I totally would have gotten one of those.
Yeah, now I'm telling you, it's only like $150 or something to lease it. I think, or you said it's $100 now. Is what they were saying.
$199.
Yeah, that's right, $99. It's not. I mean, it's not that bad to lease it through the company, through the smart car company. So, definitely some benefits there. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been having a wonderful evening with you tonight here at To The Echo Radio Show. It's KineticHiFi.com. We try to make it the best radio possible just for you guys, and we're so glad that you've stuck around with us tonight for the duration, this 3-hour show. I'm telling you, this new format, I feel like I've only been talking for 20 minutes.
Yeah, seriously.
It goes by faster. I like this. So we're probably gonna stick to this. We appreciate you guys being in the chat box, those of you that were, and we hope that you'll follow us on Facebook.com/To The Echo Radio Show. Also on Twitter @To The Echo Radio. You can check out our first single off our EP for our band Suburban Myth. The EP is entitled Plastic Souls. The first single is now on iTunes. It's called River of Life. We've been playing it all over the Kinetic Hi-Fi radio waves, and we hope you'll go check it out. You can also listen to it on ReverbNation.com/Suburban Myth, and you can see the band's bio there as well. So we hope that you'll do that. The main EP comes out March 18th, and you should be a part of it just like us. That's Suburban Myth. Derek, Daisy.
Yes.
I hope you have a great week, buddy.
Thanks, Nick. This will probably be the last time we talk until next week, so, enjoy life. Have fun with your families. I'm going to continue watching this PS3 thing. I'm sorry, listeners, we didn't get to the end of the PS3 thing. They didn't show me anything I could talk about. I mean, I'm looking at a game, a first-person shooter. It looks amazing. But, yeah, well, I guess we'll hit that next week. I might even write a blog about it on our new blog. Just keep an eye out for that on Facebook. And, otherwise, have a great night, guys. Thanks a lot for listening. I'm Derek Daisy. It's Nick O'Kelly. All of you suck, and we'll see you later.
Nah, we like you.
I don't like them.
See you next time. To The Echo Radio.